go for landing, over. Roger, understand, go for landing. Eagle looking great. Houston, the Eagle has landed.
Well, hello, everybody.
I've never saw that opening before.
Here we are. We got our launch party going here. We're celebrating the launch of Joe Frankenstein with his creators, me and Mr. Chuck Dixon, superstar, who just got off the phone with Sylvester Stallone, I might add. But, you know, he told me to have his people call his people just so I can get him on this thing, you know.
Slide doesn't talk long, so I'm here on time.
I guess not. Hey, everybody in the chat. Let me just say hello to who's here right now. Here on the Steadfast is here. Dan Genovese, rather. Ruby Jade 90. Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir. That's a mouthful. He says, hail Graham, hail chat, hail Joe Frankenstein. JP Roca asked, what's good?
All good.
Got the link. My finger is hovering over the button. Pull the finger. Anthony is here. Anthony Gonzalez Clark.
All right, Anthony.
The very talented artist. Get to work. Anthony did the variant cover for Joe Frankenstein, which you will see when you go to the link.
Awesome job on that as well.
Let's see. In emergency Graham, I'm a Canadian. Indiegogo is not charging me for shipping. Huh.
That's wrong.
Well, let's check this. What did you order, Randy? I got the link and used it right away. Okay. Let's go. Vaughn Coleman is here. Hey, Vaughn. Funny Pictures Comics says so much legend in this broadcast.
Oh.
Only in our minds.
Yes.
Nolan, a secret link. Oh, okay. I wonder if I forgot. You know, there's always something you're going to screw up when you do this thing. When you hit that launch button. Let me just double check this.
So from launch party to customer service.
Yeah. Why don't you regale them with stories, Chuck?
Yes, many stories. I need a prompter. Stories about what, Graham? Exactly.
Let's see. Tell them how you got into comics, Chuck.
Well, I never wanted to do anything else. I used to go to conventions and shows and pester editors because that's back when editors used to show up at cons, and you could talk to them. And I was never one of those guys handing pitches over the table or trying to pitch a story. I just would meet the editors so they would remember me when I called them on the phone for an interview. So, and just pounding the pavement in Manhattan over and over and over again, going to Marvel and DC until they got sick of seeing me and finally gave me some work. So they could be sure I'd stay home for a while. Archie Goodwin was always the most generous with his time. Dick Giordano and Joe Orlando as well. They were good guys.
Yeah, Archie was awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing how the little spark of talent I might have shown, which was, trust me, at the beginning was my stuff was miserable and ill thought out and just a mess, and they would still give me the time, and maybe it was time spent by them. They thought, well, this is a fan, he'll keep buying our comics.
Okay.
But gentlemen all. So, but yeah, I mean, I really never I never had a plan B. It was right for comics or nothing. So I could be standing behind a convenience store counter right now if things didn't work out right.
Wow. I think we all would. I'd be digging a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
I always thought a plan B would just delay things. or I would get distracted.
Right.
You know, I always tried to take jobs where I was free to think about stuff. You know, janitor, security guard, driving the ice cream truck, jobs you didn't have to think about. So that I was free to daydream, which is what I spent most of my time in school doing, staring out the window.
Now you started off wanting to be an artist, right?
Yeah. I tried that. I just didn't have the discipline. It's my only regret is I didn't stay in art school and hone my cartooning skills so I could be a double threat like you.
Did you go to art school?
I went to like community college. I went to
Okay.
like live drawing classes and stuff. I should have stuck with it. I think the thing that flummoxed me the most was inking. I could not ink. With my huge gorilla hands, I could not ink.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. If you can ink, it's like a Jedi talent. It really is. And I could never think. I mean, I could watch you ink. I used to watch the Villagrons ink for hours, and it's just wow. How do you do that?
Hey, we got a $25 super chat from NRG Comics. Thank you.
Right.
Joe Frankenstein Part 1 is live. Cannot wait. Ordered. There did not appear to be shipping charge, so here's a super chat for the shipping or a cigar.
Oh man!
Thank you, pal. And thanks for letting me know, guys. When I set up the secret perk link on the Nolan cover, I forgot to add the shipping in there, so that link is no longer valid. It's no longer live. So I will. I'm going to resend the email for that and change the link. So I'll have to do that a little bit later. So thank you for letting me know that. It's much appreciated.
It's a good thing you found out early.
I know. The same thing. I had a shipping issue on one of, I think, my last campaign too, where I screwed up something and I ended up, $200 in shipping charges that weren't charged. So, oh well, what are you gonna do? It's always something. There's so much stuff you're trying to think of as you're about to launch and to time everything and adding links here and getting your emails out. And oh my Lord.
Well, I always have mad respect for you doing this, man. I mean, this is like, you and Julie making this happen, from soup to nuts. You're doing the whole thing from beginning to end. And that's like Sisyphus, man, pushing a rock up a hill.
I'll tell you, some days.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, like you said, there's so many things to remember, so many things that can go wrong. Crazy.
Hey, Dan Fraga.
What's happening?
Hey, how's it going, bro?
Looks like you just wandered in.
Yeah. I'm getting my cook on, man. I'm cooking.
You cooking some good meat?
Yeah, I've got mushrooms and garlic and all that business here, and then over here I've got garlic lime salmon.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
And later we'll go apartment hunting.
Yeah, apartment hunting.
Well, it's like a whole channel here.
Chuck, I'm taking, brother. Hey, I just want you to know, Graham, I got number one.
You did it?
I did it.
Good for you.
I was sitting here chopping mushrooms, and I kept hitting refresh. Boom! Number one.
Dan tries to be number one on every one of the campaigns, and I think Andy got in once ahead of you. Yeah. And speaking of Andy,
hello. I see this is the Cooking with Dan segment of the show.
It is.
That's why I said we're going to go apartment hunting later.
I know. Can't wait.
I thought we were going to get some potpourri first.
I heard you were doing some shrooms, Dan.
I am doing shrooms, some baby bells.
Baby bells with butter and deliciousness.
Oh, nice. Yeah, fresh sliced garlic. I didn't do the razor blade trick, but it's nice and thin.
You mean like Goodfellas?
Yes.
Wow.
Very excited for this book. It's the one Nolan verse book that I don't have.
Me too.
So very stoked to see how everything comes together. A lot of people don't know that, but Ghosts of Matacumba Key is sort of the linchpin, and this all brings it together. I'm very stoked.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
That's cool.
All right. I hope that is the proper link. I better double check here. I'm going to resend everybody. I sent the links out to everybody, the secret links, so that they could claim the signed cards.
Yeah.
And also be first on the list to get sent out. Well, on the Nolan cover one, I forgot to add shipping.
Uh-oh.
So now everybody that's using that list is getting free shipping. So I canceled that one.
Damn it.
I know.
Pays to be first.
Everything.
Yeah, that's why Dan was number one. He's like, free shipping, I'm there.
No, I got the double trouble and
oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so I think shipping was included. Pretty sure
yes,
it was.
That one was.
Yeah.
Joe Frankenstein. Let's see. No one cover hidden.
I'm using the good butter.
Oh,
good
got
butter.
Kerrygold?
Oh yeah. It's the only butter I use.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dan, why is it so quiet over there?
Everybody is well, the kids are at school and the 4-year-old and the 18-year-old are out getting groceries with mom. So it's just me, and it's always quiet when it's just me.
Dan's like, finally some alone time.
Yeah. Here and on the toilet.
That's right.
Yeah. And Hardly, with the 4-year-old, she likes to just walk in and talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what locks are for.
No, Dan, when
You
she's
see
like,
these little hands under the door like a creature? Like these fingers under the door?
Dan, when she's like, 15, you should just walk in on her and go, remember? How do you like it now?
Yeah. When she's 15, man, I'm going to be in my 60s. That's going to be crazy.
All right, well, you can scoot your walker through the door.
I'm sure. As long as the tennis balls don't hit the edge, I'm good.
That's true. Got to watch those.
Yeah.
All right. Link below. Okay. Let's
Slow motion drama here with Graham fixing.
I
know.
Shipping problems.
Yeah.
Pins and needles.
Edge of my seat.
Somebody juggle.
Somebody juggle. I'm doing whiteout. So
I'm juggling John Cena's balls.
That's why we can't see them?
That's exactly right.
Ooh.
Again?
Yes, again.
Did you get them? Did you get them from China?
I did. Yo, Pang.
Just say, what did he do now?
All right. There we go. Okay, I think we're all squared away.
Beautiful.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you for letting me know that. Got a lot of folks in the chat here. Let me get back to that. Dad's Den of Pop Culture, Marcus Kellegrew, JP Roca, I mentioned him. Randy Howell, again, thank you for letting me know that you got free shipping to Canada. Jasper Plan 9. Who says hello to Chuck? Holy Hand Grenade says Joe Frankenstein looks so badass. Good stuff. Awesome. Rusty Baker Private Eye. Joshua Lynn. Much appreciated NRGX Comics.
Full house going here.
Yeah, we got a nice turnout. Considering it's midday, people are busy. They get their lunch going. Yeah. You know what we should do? Let's show the campaign.
Ooh.
And let's show the video.
Yeah,
I want to see this. I want to see this video.
Yeah, this just got uploaded this morning.
Oh, cool. I had not seen
We got to change the card, the cover card at the very end, but that's it. Everything else is looking good. All right. Come on.
Spinning.
Lots of drama on today's show.
Yeah, suspense.
Man, last night's show was a lot of fun with all the conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. If anybody missed it, you guys can catch it on replay on Pop XP. The professional stock conspiracies.
Is this in general or comic book conspiracy?
Oh, that was just
all
general.
around. Yeah, all around. We talk music, politics, world events, etc., etc.
The problem with all these conspiracies is they're real.
Yeah, a
I
lot of
know
them
they're all
are,
coming
right?
true.
Tinfoil hat's a badge of honor now.
Yep.
Shoot, man. I guess what I got underneath here.
Yeah, I'm reading that Unknown Causes book now. It's frightening.
What's that? What book is that?
The Wall Street analyst who put together the case that the vaccines are killing more people than the COVID did.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard of
He's
that
got
one.
he's got all the info from the insurance companies and the funeral homes.
Oh, wow.
He's got all the hard data on other causes of death.
Well, did you
rising.
see
What's that?
during the Today Show yesterday, Savannah Guthrie, I guess, wasn't feeling good. So they take her back, stage or whatever. This is during the show. And then they come back out and they're like, she tested positive for COVID. So she's going to go home. And she's been boosted, everything. This is the third time she's gotten COVID. The third time.
Weird.
Man, it's like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't work doing what they say it does, but I'm sure it's working doing what they want it to.
Yeah, well, that's what frightens me. It's like, wow, if we go to worst case scenario on this, it's the end of Western civilization.
Yes.
Ooh.
75% of Americans vaccinated with something that will shorten their lives by 10 or 20 years.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Get that G5 sending out those signals.
Oh God.
Yeah.
A new diet drug for adolescents. That's gonna be good.
Oh, God.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
It's crazy. So I guess he's restarting.
Yeah, he's just vanished on us.
Is he? I assume he's restarting his.
Uh-oh. Where'd you go, Andy?
And he gone too.
Yeah. Just you and me, Chuck. Oh, there he is.
No, I'm on my iPhone since I'm at my desk and it was just ringing, so I had to mute it.
This
That's
streaming
when
thing's
I'm on my
weird.
phone too. Cooking
This
these
whole streaming
beautiful
thing is weird.
peppers.
I had a stream interrupted yesterday for copyright infringement.
What were you showing, or what was showing?
These guys. I brought up a Bane video where somebody had redubbed Bane's dialogue and so they showed it, and then YouTube shut them down in the middle.
Was that with Az?
No, it's the one where Bane, they redub all of Tom Hardy's dialogue with Bane talking about fiber, keeping fiber in the diet. It's funny.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Oh, so what did you have for breakfast? It's great. It's really. He kills a guy. He kills one of his henchmen because his henchman had a bagel with cream cheese for breakfast.
Uh-oh.
You got to watch it though. That is something Graham would do if he heard Dan was doing that.
Yeah, I don't even eat until noon, guys. And there no carbs. No carbs.
Yeah, you no carbs, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I have some. I don't cut them all out. So
I want to live, Chuck.
Yeah, I want to live too, but we all have different metabolisms. We all have different needs. So you got to figure out what works for you.
I just had last year, between comic professionals and my friends, I think I counted like 12 people that I know that passed away. Jeez. And at least 4 of them were under 50.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
he's back.
Oh my Lord. What the hell? This is not my day.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Today's your day.
Did you just restart your computer?
Yeah. No. I got knocked out of the stream, and then I had to just close it completely and get back in. So I'm glad it didn't shut everything down. So thank you for your patience, folks.
That is the fun thing about StreamYard is the guy hosting it can literally get bumped out. His computer can be shut down and we'll still be going.
Yes.
Right. You would think if that happened to the main man, whoever it was, it would close it.
Yeah. So when I tried to play that video, did it ever come up?
No.
Okay. Alrighty.
No, we just sat here ruining your reputation while you were gone.
Oh, it was so fun.
Sounds like a Wednesday.
You're
It's
finished.
not easy to do. It's not easy to do.
You thought Scott Adams was canceled.
I was gonna mention Scott Adams. You beat me to it, Andy.
All right. Let's see if we can do this again.
All right.
And try and play.
If not, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah. Continue ragging on me if I get knocked out again. So let's see. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, now your mail's up. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
You do know it's not full screen, right?
Yeah, when I went full screen is when it hit the bed on me.
Is there
I was
audio?
afraid to do it again.
Is there any audio?
What's that?
Is there audio?
Are you not hearing audio?
No.
It's
God
pretty quiet.
damn me. What the fuck? Okay. Alrighty. This never happens. Oh my god. All right. Get rid of that.
This is why I don't stream.
Yeah. I'm going to copy this. We'll put it in here instead. Paste. Okay, there we go. Oops, behind. Okay, now let's try it. Screen. Tabs. Here we go.
You can tell this is live.
All right.
Hey, it's not our specialty.
All right. Is there audio now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we full screen?
Yeah. Well, now it's on center. Oh,
There you go.
That's cool.
Some great music too.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That logo effect's amazing.
Yeah, I love that logo effect. That is so cool.
That looks great. Great font in the beginning.
Yeah, we just have to change out the cover. That was a place setting cover.
Oh.
So we got to put the one that's actually going to be printed for this campaign. So.
What are you working on, Andy?
Oh, I'm whiting out some touch-up stuff on a page of core draft, page 42.
It's just effects though, because Andy doesn't make mistakes.
Oh no.
Oh, I know that.
It is mistakes, baby.
Oh, shit.
Hey, mistakes is where all the good stuff happens.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I like steaks. Steaks are delicious.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
true. That's
In fact,
true too.
Thursday, tomorrow is Steak and Wine Thursday.
Steak and wine Thursday.
What are you going to whine about?
I know.
Oh shit!
I'm going to whine about the fact I didn't charge shipping for the first 1,000 people that backed this project. Jesus. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Get started GoFundMe.
Yeah.
That's
Patrick Bowser, thank you for that $5 super chat. Graham, my buddy is playing Call of Duty and he just went up against Joe Frankenstein. I don't know how that happened.
Where's our money?
There you go.
Really.
Oh, maybe it's a player versus player, and the other guy's name is Joe Frankenstein.
Yeah, and maybe you can create your own, battle person or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Cool.
But yeah, speaking of games, I mean, Chuck and I are involved with Spin Rack, the company that we're going to be putting out our first Match 3 game very shortly.
Awesome.
Yeah, this month. It's going to come
For
out.
those of us that don't know what a Match 3 game is,
Well,
what is a Match 3 game?
Candy Crush is
Candy
a
Crush,
Match 3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
And it's going to feature Joe Frankenstein, my characters from Sunshine State, and Chuck's Law Dog, and my sister Suprema.
Nice.
Are all going to be part of this game.
That's excellent.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've been working really hard on it. It's coming down to crunch time, and we're getting ready to launch. So there's going to be some big announcements about that coming up soon.
Yeah, it's basically the beginning of a whole new thing based on IP by Graham and me.
Right.
So,
That's exciting.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how exciting it is. It's the Zoom calls.
Here we go. So now I know you want to get that apartment now, Chuck.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the cooking channel.
Yeah, that looks good, buddy.
Wow.
Is that sriracha
man.
sauce?
Sriracha, yeah, man. I
Yeah,
like that spice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's NFT Nick with the $10 super chat.
Nick.
10 spot. You can start to hire an IT guy to help with your streaming issues.
I know a
I don't
good one.
typically have problems, but my friggin' computer froze up on me. That was the problem.
Gotta
Oh,
He
blame
helped
the
me with my
computer.
IT problems. So
what's that?
he helped me with my IT problems. I gave him free reign on my computer, man. He just tuned it up like a Formula One racer.
Right?
So,
Nice.
Nice.
Well, I wish you worked with Apple because that's what I got.
yeah, well, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Shots fired.
Did you hear that, Dan?
I did. I'm a Mac guy. But I'm like the IT guy for all my friends. I got people calling me all the time. What happens when? And I go, just do this.
CH83 says Dan's over here clanking pans like a chef.
Yeah. I'm trying to kill two birds. I want to support my bro.
Right?
Hang out with Chuck. I don't get to hang out with Chuck often enough. And support this awesome book.
Well,
So-
I do appreciate you interrupting your lunch hour there, buddy.
Yeah,
He's
man.
not really interrupting it. He's supplementing it.
Well,
I
that's
am.
true.
This is awesome. And I, like a good chef, I do the dishes while I cook.
Yeah, clean as you go.
Yeah.
Did you?
And I'm going to press
Andy?
mute for that.
Andy, did you bounce yourself out?
Yeah, I got a phone call from my mom, so I had to
Gotcha.
grab that.
Okay, no worries.
Yep, but I got to see what Dan made. That looks good. I don't have
It
the kind of
does.
time to spend that on freaking lunch.
Hey, what artwork is up there? Is that a real? That's not a real John Buscema Submariner page, is it?
No, it's a recreation from this guy that Justgo hooked me up with. That's out of France, I think.
Okay. Oh, I know who you mean. I've seen his stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's real good. Then I had Rubenstein recreate one of my favorite Neil Adams Green Lantern pages. So I just got to get the lettering done on it.
Oh, that's cool. I always like to see art up on the wall, and
Cheaper than their original, that's for sure.
well, that's for sure.
And it looks just as nice. So
And I'll tell you,
Yeah.
if I could go back, I would have worked 3 jobs and just bought original art in the 70s.
Oh my God. Even in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a teenager going to cons and stuff, going, oh, $50. I can't afford that.
Right?
Oh, this stuff I walk by, oh my God. Makes me sick.
Joshua Lamb, thank you for that $2 super chat. Frankenstein's monster has never looked so cool.
Oh,
nice.
Very cool. Well, yeah, I remember going to Chicago Con in the late 80s there, and this one dealer had a stack, like this high, of John Buscema pages.
Oh,
$25, $50. I bought 3. I bought 2 pages from the Doc Savage #1 magazine that were inked by Tony DeZuniga.
wow.
What else did I get?
You still have them, right?
I do. I
Oh,
do.
good.
I still have those. I think I got a couple Ross Andrew pages from Doc Savage Comics too, from there. And they were like $50, $25, something like that. But my God, I should, as you said, Chuck, I should have just rolled out the credit card. And
well, you've been up my elbow on that scene. I mean, I passed up a Ditko Spider-Man page for $2,000, and you were at my elbow going, "Do it, do it, do it." I'm like,
that's true. I remember that.
How long ago was that?
94.
That was was San Diego, wasn't it?
Yeah, San Diego.
Yeah.
But the same day, I bought a Ballin Judge Dredd cover for $1,200, and I sold it a couple of years ago for $15K. So
nice.
Yeah, it wasn't a waste. I'll tell you, the first piece of original art I ever owned was a Gil Kane Iron Fist page inked by Giordano. All action.
I know the issue.
Yeah, and I got it for $17 at auction at a Phil Suling con in like 1973.
$17.
Oh my God!
I sold it for $3K a couple of years ago. So
wow.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're making back on it, that's cool. But I remember Kirby pages, New Gods Kirby pages were like $35.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had this guy, was chirping on me because he wanted this Vengeance of Bane page. It's a great page of Bane. On every page is he's like jumping on the rooftops and stuff like that. And I told him I wanted 50K for it. And he said, I can't do it. How about 25? I'm like, nope. So I kept passing. This went on for about a year. He kept chirping and chirping. He finally says, 45 is as high as I can go. This is a Grail page. If it means anything to you, this will be like the premier thing. I'm like, he sells me on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, all right, I'll let you have it for 45. The next year, it's on a Heritage auction, and he gets 85K for it.
Oh man! Oh man!
Yeah,
that mother.
Yeah, never again.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Yep.
Like I mean, nothing to that scale, but like doing sketches for people and have them telling you how much they cherish it, and then seeing it on eBay the next week.
Oh yeah.
It's like, dude, you're gaming me. It's fucked up.
I bought 2 detective covers off of Michael Golden, and he made me sign a form that I would take them to my grave with.
Which ones were they?
My first, they were like my first 2 detective issues.
Hey Chuck, did I hear you right that for me to get those covers, I got to kill you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
I'm not fucking with you, man. If you are how you write, bro, I am staying clear.
I was going to say, good luck, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because when you take me down, you got to deal with the wife, and man, it's all over then.
Okay.
She takes no prisoners.
Yeah.
Seriously, she stopped us from being carjacked one time. So,
holy
really?
Smokes.
Yep. That guy saw that 45 staring him in the face, and he changed his mind in a big hurry.
That's awesome. Oh my God. Hey, were those first 2 issues, or are those the ones with Tom Lyle?
Yeah. The electrocutioner.
So wait, what was on the actual covers?
Geez.
I have them. I'm just curious which ones you got specifically.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe them because they all look the same. They were all the electrocutioner,
Yeah.
getting all sparky. But,
Well, I have to look at, man, those are good covers.
Yeah, they are good covers. I especially like the one where Robin's in the foreground turned away and you get that 3/4, that's just an amazing piece of paperwork. So
that is a fantastic.
Jasper Plan 9 here for thank you for that $49.99 super chat. Graham, you adding more items to Joe Frankenstein. I backed Ghosts 4 times because you kept adding things after day 1.
Wow.
No, not on this campaign, Jasper, because this one is fast and furious because we have part 2 to come on its heels because I want to get both these things done in time before the Ghost of Matacumba Key gets fulfilled in August because I want people to read this stuff first so things that happen in Ghosts will have more meaning to you. So this is, like I said, this is quick and easy.
You mean 30 days and no in demand, right?
That's right. This is a 30-day campaign. There's no in demand. It's get in, get out. So you can't. There's no stragglers, basically.
So you changed your mind on that stretch goal where you'll come mow their lawn?
Well, all what?
You'll mow their lawn?
Oh,
that's not going to happen now.
Yeah, I got a hernia. Can't do it.
Oh man,
can't do it.
Hey, there's our brother Heels versus Babyface. Thank you, bro.
What up,
hey, whoa,
that's
hello,
100 pounds.
That's a lot, man.
Sterling, man. Cool.
Page you sent me will be freaking buried with me.
That was a great page.
You also got a signed slab. Yes, please. Thanks, bro.
Excellent.
That was a great page, Graham.
That was a great page.
Oh, did he show it on your show?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he already has it framed.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Hey, gents, I'm gonna bow out because I don't like eating on camera.
No,
thank you.
You're no Billy Tucci, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or Art
I don't tell crazy lies about Ben and Jerry, and I don't eat on screen. But good to see you,
coming in,
gents. Dan. Of course, I'll be watching from the sides.
Awesome.
Big love to everybody. If you haven't yet, go back to this book. All right.
Thanks,
see
pal.
you guys.
See you,
right.
Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Mike Irish, thank you. Oh, look at that Guinness. That looks so delicious. Do you think crowdfunded comics are the only way comics will survive? I don't know about the only way.
Spin Rack is the only way comics will survive.
That's true.
There you go.
That's the next level. Comics 3.0 through Spin Rack.
Take us beyond crowdfunding.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's going to allow people and other creators to come in and create.
But I'll tell you, so far, it's been the only way comics have survived.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You look at the numbers that DC publishes now, and there's no way that they're in the black. Have you noticed that royalties are getting later and later?
Yes.
Equity royalties should have been due in January.
Yep.
And here we are in March.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I see these print numbers and I'm like, is there a zero missing? I mean, seriously, you wouldn't even turn on the presses for these numbers.
Oh yeah, back in the early 90s and stuff. Hell no.
No, even recently, even in recent years, you wouldn't even have bothered taking that book to press. With the miserable print runs they're doing.
Right. Now they're getting the what it costs them to print that is, pennies on the dollar versus what it costs us because they're
right.
But still. Hey, Stephen Della Vega, thank you for that $5 super chat. Just read Detective 110 where he fights Deathstroke. It wouldn't be 110, that's for sure.
No.
Where he fights Deathstroke. You're
710, right?
Yeah, it could have been 710. Yeah. Looked weird, inked by Bill Sienkiewicz.
I like that issue.
I like
that issue. I like that one too.
Yeah.
I got an awesome original you gave me from that issue.
I remember. Is it the splash page where he's on the roof?
No, it's like it's one of my favorites. It's a 6-panel grid.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love a 6-panel grid. Everybody knows that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like a litmus test. if you can do a 6-panel grid and make it look interesting and exciting, then you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look no further than any Dell comic. Like they show you how to do it.
Well, look at Kirby and Ditko.
Yeah.
They would do that stuff and still have the Marvel dynamics,
Yeah, well, the 6-panel grid allows you to control time.
Mm-hmm.
You can slow the story down or speed it up depending on what's in the panels.
It also keeps your eye in line. It keeps it from wandering about with Neil Adams style, figures and panels and odd shapes and all that kind of stuff, which I understand why he did that stuff. But, the 3 tenets for me are clarity, dynamics, and immersion. And yes, they were dynamic. Were they clear? Well, sometimes. But if they're not clear, then you don't have immersion. And so,
and then sadly, when he would go to a grid thing, you would see how good a storyteller he could be, but then those, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, more splashy big money pages. It's like, wow, I'm lost, or I'm not getting the full impact of the story here.
Right.
Anthony
Gonzalez Clark says, I haven't tried a 6-panel grid yet in my Sister Suprema. Well, Anthony, maybe you ought to find a better writer to write 6-panel grids.
Hey, we're doing it digital. There are no grids.
Oh, we're going down that road.
Yes. So, Anthony, anytime you want to turn one of these things into a 6-panel grid, I love 6-panel grids.
He does. But, Anthony, do not make a circular panel.
No.
I'm just telling you right now.
Please don't.
Austin Colton, $9.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Hey, Graham and Chuck, I just picked up my copy of Joe Frankenstein. Super excited. I was curious, what is the best way to learn to write and draw comics? Chuck, why don't you tackle that?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to hear about writing comics, my YouTube thing, Ask Chuck Dixon, you can check that out. I think my 132nd episode dropped today, so
nice.
I talk a lot. And in fact, in this episode, I show you the anatomy of a comic book page, how the page goes from script to penciled art.
Beautiful.
And so, I don't really do a how-to. I just kind of show you how I do it. And I think that's more instructive in the end. I'm just showing you by example what I do. So that's one way.
Another way is find the best comics you can, the ones that you love, the ones that speak to you, and deconstruct them, particularly the artwork. Figure out why, whoever that artist may be, whose storytelling you love. Your textbook is right there in front of you. But you need to deconstruct it. Figure out why he made those choices. Copy the layouts. You don't have to copy all the details and everything, but figure out how he blocks in those panels and lays out that page. It's right there in front of you, and it just takes some thinking, and you can learn a lot by doing that.
I mean, that's how we did it. That comic book is your schoolroom.
Yeah, pretty much.
You need to study it. It's like, why did this make me laugh? Why did this, make me? Why did this put me in suspense? Why did this do this? Why did this do that? And figure out what did they do to make me feel that way, to get that impact.
Vera Kusaki. Thank you for that $2 super chat. 710 is the oil cap upside down.
Okay.
Cap upside down.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. And there it is.
The riddle.
Yeah. Random McRanderson. We got $10 Canadian super chat. Chuck Dixon. I'm most of the way through final edits on a sci-fi novel, and I don't think straight white males are being published by the big publishers these days. Any thoughts on how to publish?
I just had this discussion with someone on the phone about how hard it is to sell something with straight white males in it. It was a straight white male I was talking to, and it's I mean, you're going to have to self-publish probably, or I think Baen still publishes, Baen, B-A-E-N, still publishes straight white male science fiction. So you can try them. But otherwise, you're going to have to go the self-publication route or find one of these ebook publishers like I use. But it's a tough road ahead of you.
Yeah.
But I think it's all turning around. I think it's starting to turn around. We can thank Chris Pratt. He's turning it around all by himself.
Oh, dude.
Did
you know they're doing a second season of the Terminal List, right?
I can't wait, man. That was the most badass thing I've ever seen streamed.
I haven't
they're doing a prequel too.
Oh my God, Graham! Trust me, you know me.
Yeah,
man, I was shocked that they ever got that on the air.
Right?
Oh,
yep. The hero is basically a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
And they don't ever back down. And there's stuff in there. I was eye rolling like, oh, they had to include this, and then it all comes to a payoff.
No kidding.
Like, man, that's why they did the senator character, Andy, or the Secretary of State character. I'm like, oh, they just threw her in, right? And at the end of it, you go, oh my God, this was what it was all about. It was all about her.
Yep.
Wow.
In the right way. But yeah, that's an awesome show.
Let's take a peek, see where we're at here. Okay, we got 7,565 with 149 backers. Let's refresh.
Crap.
Let's refresh.
That's a good start.
Woo! There we go. 8,505.
Nice.
Damn, you've built an empire, Graham.
Very nice.
It's 65 backers. Very good.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good. It's good lunchtime start. You know, like I said, you know, this campaign doesn't have a lot of high-end stuff on it. You know, like some campaigns have sketches or original art, and a lot of those bump up the numbers really quick. So this is all book sales.
Right.
Which,
like Fraga said, I mean, Fraga missed this the first time around. And I think a lot of other people did too.
Right.
Thank you, IDW.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Pretty much.
Yeah. We appreciate your underachieving.
Yes. Thanks for dumping it on the market without any fanfare at all.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks for your
pushing all your editors in-house the books that they were freelancing. In particular.
What's this by the guys who created Bane? Just throw it out anywhere.
But I'm an editor on staff. Look at my book.
It's about robot mice from Venus. Okay.
That's right. And we got a guy cheap from Venezuela. We found him on Behance.
Yeah, and he drew half the first issue until we found a cheaper guy in the Philippines.
This just sounds too much like a true story now.
Oh, I know.
It's based on a true story.
Okay.
You just look at some of the drawings that are in the comics today, and you're like, really?
Oh,
I mean, they'd have laughed me out of the offices if I showed a portfolio that looked like that. You're not ready, kid. You're not ready, kid.
Yep.
Yeah. Even back when, if you had a pulse, you could get a job in comics, they would have rejected half of the stuff we see now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there was a time when, man, they just needed content, they needed talent, but there was still, you know, some sort of level of achievement you had to reach before you got in there.
You know what the funny thing is like, you know, in 1977, I believe it was, when Stan published How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, 77 or 78.
Yeah.
You know, JB went to great lengths to show you, okay, this is a fine way to do it, and this is the Marvel way to do it. And the fine way, you know, well drawn, decently laid out, very clear, storytelling good, but boring.
Yeah.
And it's like this entire generation had read that page, and they decided that's good enough.
It's 100% true. It's 100% true. It is. You
know, good writing is hard. Foreshortening is hard. You know, these things aren't easy.
Yeah. Dynamic angles, exaggerate, push the drawing.
Yep. Well, you can't push the drawing when you're just looking at photos and stuff for everything.
Fritzy Schnitzel is asking what Joe Frankenstein's about. Well, you have just revealed you have not been to the site. That you have not backed Joe Frankenstein.
Or he's encouraging you to tell the people what it's about.
Oh, well, that's true. That could be it. I could be casting an aspersion here.
Yeah, he's trying. Fritzy Schnitzel's trying to help us out here, and you're dissing him.
Well, then let's do this.
Okay.
What is Joe Frankenstein about?
There you go.
Well, who is Joe Frankenstein? Joe Pratt has lived his life in and out of foster homes until that fateful night when, delivering pizzas, he is attacked by a coven of vampires. His young life may have ended right there if not for the intervention of a guardian angel, who turns out to be the Frankenstein monster. Yes, that Frankenstein monster. Joe learns that he is not a Pratt, but in fact the last heir of the Frankenstein line. The monster has been watching over and protecting the Frankenstein descendants from his bride and her creatures of the night as she seeks what the monster has and she does not: eternal life. The secret lies in the monster's blood, but the code to unlock it is in Joe's. The problem is, she doesn't want some of Joe's blood. She wants all of it. Nicely played.
Nice.
So that is what it's about, my friend.
That's cool.
Now, who wouldn't want to buy that?
Right?
I want to know that story.
You know, Chuck and I, we love these classic monsters. And we also love classic action adventure. And we wanted to marry those too. You know?
Yeah, Graham brought me this. You know, he talked about this for years, about doing this project, you know, and then finally he asked me to come on board to help out. I'm glad he did.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you know, like he said, you know, I was a big fan of these growing up. I had all the Aurora model kits. You know, I never missed Chiller Theater in Philadelphia, and you know, this is you know, a labor of love from both of us.
Yeah, it's funny. The origin of this thing started when I wanted to do, again, I mentioned action adventure, and I love horror too, and the classic monsters. And my original idea was to do Doc Savage as a monster hunter. And I thought, wow, Doc Frankenstein, you know, it's the perfect name. You know, because of Dr. Frankenstein and Doc Savage, and, you know, I could, you know, marry up these two genres. And then I look and I find that the Wachowski brothers had copyrighted the name, and they did a comic, pretty bad one, called Doc Frankenstein. I think it went 2 or 4 issues, something like that. So that was off the table, and that's how my call to Chuck started. You know, I was like, you know, I've got this idea, you know, and, you know, he says, well, just change the name. And I'm like, yeah, but the whole gag was in the name. You know, I just can't call him Joe Frankenstein. And then there's this dramatic pause. And then, and you know, and I hear crickets on the phone. And then Chuck goes, why not? That's a great name.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was at that moment that the thinking process changed. Okay, we had this pedestrian name attached to this classic monster thing, and then that's when we went off in an entirely different direction by making Joe a young boy, and you know, we hammered out the other ideas, and voila.
And I must correct you, Graham. It's the Wachowski sisters. Don't be dead naming here.
You are correct.
I'm so politically incorrect.
Yeah.
What are the odds that 2 brothers would go down that path?
It's almost like mental illness played a part here.
Almost.
You think? Like a shared psychosis.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. It ain't good. But I can tell you there's nobody like that in our story.
No. There was no cringing moments anywhere in this story.
The only one that's had any surgeries is the bride.
Yes. And those were all enhancements to her already
that's right,
prodigious features.
Yes. You know who the bride was based on?
No, I don't.
Oh shit, what's the actress's name? Hold on. I gotta reference my own work. Yeah.
I thought it was based on the governor of Michigan. Because that's what I think of whenever I see her. It's the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Jeez,
hey, at least Chicago did the right thing.
Yeah, but the other two guys that beat her were defund the cops guys too, so nothing's going to change.
I thought the one guy was in the police union.
Yeah, like the new mayor of New York who's not doing anything about crime.
Okay.
Nothing's going to change.
Right.
Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
You got to come to Florida to see real political change.
That's right.
That is true. NRGX Comics, $10. Thank you again, brother, for that super chat.
Over 9K.
Over 9K, almost 5. Well, we're going to have to do a refresh, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
All righty, let's take a look here and see what we have. Okay. All right, the last time we did it was 85.95, and now it is 9235.
Beauty.
Wow.
Man,
very nice.
This is a real horse race now.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fantastic.
And all the work's done.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you're in the chat or you end up watching this later, that the first thing that we wanted to do was re-letter this thing. Yeah. Because the IDW lettering is just okay. There's so many things I disliked about it. So I wanted to get this redone, and IDW never gave us the print files. So we had the high resolution color files, but they weren't lettered. So we sent them off to Carlos Manguel. You'll know Carlos because he's lettered all the Compass Comics books to date. And he also lettered the Bane Conquest that Chuck and I did. And that's where we got to know Carlos. And he's a really cool guy. He lives in Florida and a great letterer. So,
the new lettering looks amazing, man. It's a transformation.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? We could even show it here because the first 9 pages are up on the campaign.
Oh, nice. Cool. Now, did you take this opportunity to rescript anything, or did you just leave it like it was?
No, the dialogue is the same.
Yeah, it's the same book, same story.
Yeah, it'll be the same story. I haven't seen
as many write-throughs as Graham and I did on this thing. We had to be happy with it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much better. And the thing that I wanted too is I wanted the monster to have his own unique word balloons. So as you can see here, Carlos gave him this kind of scary word balloon look.
Oh, that's cool. So the first one he never did, huh?
No.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And his sound effects are better.
Yeah.
Even his balloon placements are better.
Which is an art in itself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little bit more breath around the word balloons. They're not the words aren't cramped up against the balloon itself, which is a real pet peeve of mine. I may not have paid attention in High Eisman's, or rather, I may not have turned in all my assignments in High Eisman's lettering class, but I did pay attention.
Yeah, I kind of like to say I might not have been good at lettering, but I paid attention to the rules.
Yeah.
I wasn't stellar in his class at all, but I did pay attention to the rules.
Yeah.
Even as a writer, I have to understand how comic book lettering works. I mean, I'm so glad Tim Harkins is one of my friends because he taught me a lot about what good lettering is versus bad lettering, how to tell the difference, and what a difference it can make in the finished product.
Oh my God, bad lettering can ruin.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely ruin it.
Well, here is a change that I wanted. Is I wanted the logo in on this statement here. So it's like overlapping the balloons and everything. Before it was just some type font, and it looked really weak. Now it looks really cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So bravo to Carlos.
That's cool.
Yeah. And why don't we just run through some of the perks here that you get?
Do it.
Again, this is a down and dirty campaign. It's really all about selling books, not tchotchkes and other stuff. Because we're 30 days from soup to nuts on this, and then once the 30 days are over, the files are going to the printer. or to be processed for printing. And then there'll be the launch of part 2, which the part 1 and 2 will collect the entire Joe Frankenstein story to date. And it's going to set Chuck and I up to do new Joe Frankenstein stuff. So, but we got to get the story out there. We got to get it under Compass Comics, and then we can move forward from there. So this is the first stage. So we got the Double Trouble, which is the 2 covers, mine and Anthony Gonzalez Clark, who did an awesome cover. I'll show you his larger one down here. There it is.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I love how he casts those shadows, and the shadows have like a little blur on them, so they just looks very organic.
And he captures the characters perfectly.
Yeah. The look on Joe's face is dead on model, which I really like.
I love that Anthony he stays on model with this stuff, but he brings enough of himself to it to make it special. He really is a super talent. He's going to be like too big to talk to us in like another year.
Yeah. Well, if we have his address, we can always just show up.
Yeah.
There you go.
He'll have to pretend he doesn't know us in person.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing about this campaign is that there are no stretch goals. Everything's already included with it. So one of the Compass Comics things is always a bookmark. Julie loves bookmarks, and I figure, well, I got to do a bookmark for everyone.
Yeah.
Then they're going to get the vinyl sticker. That'll be a die cut sticker of the Joe Frankenstein logo that would look really cool on your truck bed or your computer. And then the upgrades. I'm upgrading the paper like I did for Alien Alamo to a matte finish. And the cover is going to be perfect bound. The book will be perfect bound with a matte finish on the cover, like a silk finish. But then there'll be spot UV, those shiny parts on the logos and on Joe himself. So he's really going to pop off the page and look super cool. So, we don't have to hit certain numbers to get that. Like I said, I want everybody to have the perfect package right from the get-go on this. And it's all about selling the books.
So the sticker, is that like a window sticker or?
Yeah, it's a traditional. It'll be a vinyl cutout sticker, so that you can stick it on anything. Window, cool. Your bumper, your computer, all that kind of stuff.
It's going on the back of the Suburban as soon as I get it.
There you go.
Nice.
And then for the ultimate collector, we have the signed copy. They'll be signed by Chuck and I.
Did I agree to that?
You just did.
No, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know where I live too.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm in Florida, so so this is really cool. That like these books will be signed, then they'll be sent to CGC. They'll be graded and slabbed, and then CGC will send them directly to you. So that is really cool. I had before I offered this on the Ghost of Matacumba Key, I wanted to see what this would be like because I didn't have any slab books, so I got a few of my own slab to see what it would be like, and it's really, really nice.
Nice.
I had the original Monster Island done. If it wasn't for a little rust on those staples, it would have been a 9.8. And then, of course, the new ones, Alien Alamo, that's a 9.8. And then the Chinook,
cool.
Nice. 9.8. But
I got a Vengeance of Bane signed by you and Eduardo. I should take that down there with me and get them.
Oh, you should.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't have any signed by Eduardo. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got the 3 signatures on it.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a huge loss. Was Eduardo leaving us too soon.
Yeah. What a huge talent. What a great guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, got to meet him in San Diego.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that I have pictures of the three of us together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Peterson used to tease me all the time because he knew I loved Eduardo's work. And he would call, well, we want you to do this. And is it okay if Eduardo draws it? And of course, I'd go, fan, gosh, Eduardo. And then Scott would start laughing. I'm like, you did it to me again. You made me gush over Eduardo. So, like it wouldn't be okay with me if Eduardo drew it.
Right.
That's it. That's the deal breaker, Scott. I'm out.
Can we get somebody who can draw better?
I did turn
No,
down
you can't.
Yeah, no. I did turn down Garcia Lopez one time, though.
Did you really?
It was that detective annual, the pirate annual. And I already had Alcateno on it.
Oh, okay.
And I really wanted Alcateno on it.
Yeah.
And Lopez found out about it and said, could I do it? And I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry.
Oh,
I'm really sorry.
Right Press Productions, $2 super chat. Thank you. Backer number 213.
All right.
Isn't that Pete? That's PTP's company, right? Right Press? Yeah. Thank you, Patrick.
Cool.
Blue Samurai wants to know, will the extras include your original 8 covers? Yeah. We'll have that in there. Because we did variant covers for each of the issues. So yeah, those will be in there. One of the things that's going to be in the book that wasn't in the hardcover or anything else is the creation of the logo.
Oh, cool.
And the background of that, because that logo was designed by the great Gaspar Saladino, who created all those classic logos for DC Comics and Marvel Comics. And it was actually one of the last logos he designed. And he did them by hand. You know, I've got a little piece of paper, like it was cut out with scissors, that he drew this thing on, you know. Wow. I had to scan it and clean up the pencils and stuff, and, you know, to get it, you know, shootable.
Wait, was it just pencils?
No, he eventually inked it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he sent pencils first for approval. We went through a couple rounds, and then we finally got to the one that we settled on.
For comic book logos, he is the man.
Oh yeah. Especially when you get to the scary stuff, you know, Swamp Thing, Ghost Rider, you know, all those really great. See, I was talking to Todd Klein, and he actually suggested, because I was thinking, you know, somebody modern, computer, you know, rasterized type and all that kind of stuff. Right. And he suggested he couldn't do it, so he asked what about Gaspar? I'm like, is he still doing it? You know, can we get him? And he said, sure. You know, I'll give you his number. You know, I called him, talked to him. And
wow,
it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that will be in the book too. So,
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Didn't he in the 70s like redo all of the DC core logos too? If I remember right, didn't they have him update the Superman logo? I think I'm right. In
the early 80s, they did update the Superman logo. They took some of the angles off and made it like the original, where it was a scoop on the U.
Oh.
Okay, that's what I'm remembering. That was him, right?
I don't know.
I think it was.
I know the DC Bullet logo. That was by a famous designer named Milton Glaser.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Well, they paid some real money for that.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money. He was a famous New York designer.
Wow.
Well, they should go back.
Say that I love that one, you know, all that much.
Yeah. Well, you always wonder. You see these company logos, and we spent $2 million on this. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have knocked that off on a cocktail napkin?
Yeah.
Right. I know, right?
like that DC logo where the logo was peeling away from itself. What the hell was that?
Yeah.
I was going to bring that one up.
Yeah.
Like you got DC. Why can't it just be DC? Why you got to do funny stuff with it?
Yeah. Yeah. And make it unreadable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that what a logo
guy had to
is?
show
It's
he
for
was
instant
earning
recognition.
money.
You know.
Well, you know, my DC logo or DC logo's coming out of a closet. But
yeah. It's blue on the front, and they peel it away, and it's pink underneath.
That's right.
No, it's a rainbow underneath.
Yeah, that's right. A rainbow comes out.
Yes.
And then there's a unicorn at the end.
Yes. Yes. And ironically, it makes no green.
we saw what you did there.
Yeah, I got that. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I got it.
Yeah, boy.
Those two colors do not mix to make green. I got it.
All right, let's see if we crossed over the Rainbow Bridge into. Oh, almost.
Wow. Getting there, man. 5 figures, ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy, boy. Yeah, getting there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm. Oops, there we go.
I'm glad I stopped by here to claim some success.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. If you weren't here, we'd be at probably 20,000.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's true. It's true. There's probably all kinds of things in the chat that Graham's not repeating because I'm here.
Past Master Dan reminds us that Andy Smith's Cordrath The Reckoning is here, and he posts the link.
Thank you, Past Master Dan.
All right. That's looking
Andy?
awesome, Andy. That's your masterpiece you're working on right now.
Thank you,
It
Chuck.
really
I really
is.
appreciate it.
It
Andy,
really is.
Hey, do you wanna share your campaign? Want to share your screen?
Oh, I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm on my phone because I'm at my desk. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
The link
is
all
there,
good.
gang. Use it because Andy is shadow banned. So
Shocking.
you'll need the link to get to that and back his.
What did you do, Andy?
What didn't I do?
You know what he did? He voted for Trump.
Oh, no. Oh,
Damn it.
no.
That's
Don't
right.
reveal that.
Oh, well.
He'll be double shadow banned now.
I know.
Well,
Few
it'll
more
be interesting
years.
to see how long it takes for Joe Frankenstein to get shadow banned.
Yeah, you never know.
Jasper says, describe the secret perk links. Mine doesn't show your cover as a secret perk, but the other two show as secret tiers. That's because I canceled that one, Jasper. I sent out another email with the proper one. So check your email. The reason was I didn't have shipping in that one. Somebody had let me know, so I had to go back and recreate that. Once there's purchases on it, you can't adjust it. So I had to close it and create a new one. So I emailed the new link to everybody that was in the sign up list. So check your email and then you can use it.
That's right.
And don't tell Julie he left shipping out.
Well, she's the queen of fulfillment. So I'm
I was
going
about
to
to say,
I'm
I'm
she's
going to have
find
to
out.
come clean.
It's like, I'm not getting paid for this? The hell with this.
Yeah.
You sold how
Close
many of
envelope
these?
yourself, Nolan.
How many of these for free? Oh, Lord.
No steak
you were
tonight.
notified.
Randy.
I know. It's only been a couple hours, so I would hope it's not.
Yeah. You got to give it a good 48 hours, for him to get on the ball.
That's right.
Yeah, before we throw the little girl in the lake.
Yeah. Like a flower.
Yeah.
Oh, Waylon Jackson says he just backed the Slabbed book for his first ever Slabbed comic.
Oh,
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really cool collector's item, I think.
You're entering a larger world.
Yeah. I have my girls got me. Yeah, I'll show you this. It's right here.
slab comics can become addicting. I've only got about 15 of them, but
The girls found this at an antique mall or collector's mall, and they got it. They all chipped in and got it for me for Christmas one year.
Ooh.
Spidey. It's a 7.0, but it's signed by Stan Lee.
Wow. Oh, what number is it?
70.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh nice. Yeah, this is in my favorite era.
Yeah. That's a great cover.
Who's the villain in that one?
In this one, the Kingpin is still in here.
Oh, okay.
Because this is the story that involves the tablet that has the secret of eternal youth or something like that. And Silvermane, ends up making he gets Dr. Kirk Connors to decipher the tablet and make the formula, and it de-ages Silvermane, but it keeps going, and all of a sudden he's like a teenager. He's getting smaller and smaller, and he de-ages into nothingness.
Oh my God! Now I know where that Brad Pitt movie came from. Bastard.
Yeah, really.
Hey, who's looking for people to like to draw on the back of that comic? Is it still Albert Dorn?
No, this one's Rockwell.
Okay.
Norman Rockwell.
It moved on to Rockwell.
Nice.
I was just reading about that. Dorn made millions off of that.
Is that right?
And then the artists that were working with him, Rockwell and the rest, found out how much he was making. Said, "Hey,
I'm real." Oh, NRGX says we're at 5 figures.
Yes.
Let us see, shall we? Oh, no, let's do this. I feel like Jerry Lewis asking for the timpani. Boom.
Whoa.
Nice.
Solidly in 5 figures.
Oh, look at that. 199 backers.
Wow.
Very
That's
cool.
amazing. Wow. We need 200. We need our 200th backer. We got this.
I think they'll be along.
I think so.
Probably keying in right now.
Absolutely.
Wait, you're at 199. Hold on. I'm going to get on the computer, see if I can be 200 at least.
There's another one. This looks great. Just ordered my slab signed. Dixon joint.
Cool.
Well, I guess I'm not going to be 200. I'm going to try.
Come on, Andy. You can do it.
Let's see what number I am live.
We're going to watch Andy back a project live, people.
That's right.
It's exciting.
Look at the action. This is beginning to feel like a Marvel comic. A guy sitting in a chair on a computer.
Yeah.
Wait. I assumed a guy.
No, that part's right.
Okay.
Right.
Good.
I flipped
all
the
the
coin,
action's going on in the fan. This is like a comic book panel, and here's the action: the fan spinning.
There you go.
All right, let's see. I'm looking for my email. Oh, there's my email.
Make sure it's the second email though, so you, depending on what you're going to get, if you're going to get the Nolan cover, you want
this email came at 11:35.
That's the first one.
All right.
The other one was after 12 because that's when we had already launched and we found out about it.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Please tell me I corrected it right.
I will.
Please tell me there's a shipping charge.
I will in a second. Let's see. Yeah, you're at 204 now. That's okay. Maybe I can be 205.
Jasper found his the second secret link, just like Andy. He's backer number 241. Thank you, Jasper.
And yes, there is shipping. So
okay, perfect.
Oh, awesome.
Perfect.
Everything's
buy more of those signed comics because I'm the one be driving them down to Sarasota to get slabbed. So
that's right.
I don't want to be going down there with some miserable little stack.
And think about that. Your comics will be hand delivered by Chuck Dixon.
Yep.
So his DNA is going to be all over that.
Oh, I'll make sure of that. I'll probably eat something on the way down. So any suspicious stains caused by me.
There you go.
And speaking of eating something, let's get a man who loves to eat on stream in here, Mr. Billy Tucci.
Oh, look, my 3 favorite sociopaths.
Oh! It's Howard Chaykin.
Yeah, we have a quorum.
Yeah. Actually,
I don't ever
Howard
heard
said
that
that to
story.
me and Billy.
That was me and Graham.
Yeah. We went up to him and said, "Hey," at a convention, and he looked up and goes, "Oh, look, my two favorite sociopaths."
Who said it? Who said it?
Howard Chaykin.
Oh.
Well, Graham did say, "Hey, Howie, how's it shaking?" And I guess that kind of set him off a little bit.
He'd never heard that before.
I know.
I did not say that.
No, you did. We just said hi.
Yeah.
And we went up to him. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, look, my two favorite sociopaths.
Well,
That's right.
to be fair, he wasn't wrong.
No.
That's
And
why
then-
it's
and
funny.
And then Ethan saw him that night, and Ethan goes, "Howard, how you doing? Let me buy you a drink." And Howard said, "Oh, I'm not drinking anything you're buying."
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
God love him. God love him. The cuddly curmudgeon.
Yeah. All the slabs will come out at 8.9 because of Chuck.
That's right.
He's going to make sure he's going to stop at the rusty. What was that place? The Rusty.
The
Bucket?
Rusty Scupper.
Right. Yeah. And Chuck will have all that blackened grouper sauce all over.
Oh, that is the worst restaurant. The one in Baltimore, the Rusty Scupper. The one in Baltimore.
This is the
this is in
Rusty
Tampa.
Bucket or the Rusty Kettle or.
It's the Rusty something. It's an awesome restaurant.
The Rusty
it's right on the water.
It's right on the water, and it's right on like the inland, inlet.
Yeah.
In Tampa.
It's in that town where they're known for the sponges, right?
Tarpon Springs.
Oh, where the Greeks are.
Yeah.
Opa.
Yeah, Tarpon Springs.
Yeah, no, it's a good restaurant.
Well,
You don't
Billy,
leave there
let's
hungry,
see if
that's for
anybody
sure.
followed Billy. Bum, 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 bum. We hit 5 figures, Billy.
Hey, yeah.
All right.
Wow,
Oh, we went to
Whoa.
11. Oh, this campaign goes to 11.
Wow.
Excellent. Excellent. And this book is all done. All the interior art is already finished on this book.
Finished and colored. It's being relettered. It's fantastic. Hey, for anybody that's tuning in now that hasn't seen it before, why don't we show the video?
Yeah.
Because it is really cool. Are we up?
Hopefully, it won't kick you out of the stream.
Yeah. Here. Yeah, Billy.
Love it. The latest adventure. Dude, that was great. Who did that for you? Who made that?
That's my guy, Nick Grosh.
Man, Nick Rose
Does
got a
all my
little
videos.
fire thing going on there, huh?
Yeah.
I seen 747s being brought down by weather effects like that.
He said, "Is there anything any angle you want me to approach while doing it?" I said, "Well, it's a love letter to Universal monster movies." I said, "Could you?" And I sent him the video of the classic Universal monsters opening with the Universal globe and the little prop plane going flying around it. I said, "Can you simulate something like that?" And he says, "Well, I'll give it a try." And so he went black and white and everything, and he just nailed it.
Beautiful work.
Gorgeous. So the story, the young man in there, he is a direct descendant of Victor von Frankenstein.
Yep.
That's Frankenstein.
And And the vampires want that. What does he possess that they're after him?
His blood.
His blood.
Well,
blood has
vampire,
the
right,
key.
Andy Smith? I guess that
His
makes
blood
sense.
has the key to unlocking the secret of eternal life.
Yeah, because the original Frankenstein used his own blood to transfuse into the monster.
Is that true?
Yeah. No, but
Yeah. But in our story, it is.
Oh, okay.
Mary Shelley did not provide a lot of details.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried reading that book in like 8th grade, and I just couldn't get through it. I was like,
Oh, I've tried 5 or 6 times to get through it.
like it's not,
and
where's the bolts in the neck?
Yeah, it's an
and
allegory.
the monster, when he gets going, he's like listening to a politician. You know, he's so verbose and he's going on and on. Now, on the other hand, Stoker's Dracula is a great read.
Yeah,
that one is like a pulp novel, you know, of the day. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's such atmospheric writing too. How we describe, and the movies caught all that. Even from the Nosferatu film, they captured all that spirit of that novel.
And I found it interesting, and I don't know if it had been done before, but the story is told through the letters, which was a really cool device that maybe authors in the 1800s did that. I don't know. But,
I don't think so. I don't think that was very common.
Yeah. So it had a real world authenticity to it. Instead of being somebody watching the story unfold, you feel like you've come about this, and that since these were letters, this really happened. It makes it a much more believable in your mind story, because these are letters that you're reading, and I thought that was really cool.
Well, it allowed Stoker to write it in first person. First person was a form that wasn't really popular amongst the literati. Readers liked it. I mean, obviously Mark Twain, things like that, but
right.
The reviewers and critics didn't like it. So he used the letters as a way of being able to use first person, as a device.
What did you guys, I know I'm getting off subject, but that's how my brain thinks. What did you guys think of that movie, Shadow of the Vampire, with Willem Dafoe as
that was funny.
Max Schreck? Wasn't that cool?
That was a funny movie. I forgot all about that movie. That was
I did too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Now, on the other side of the coin, the actual remake of Nosferatu with Klaus Kinski, that one sucks.
Yeah.
That one is a snooze fest.
Oh my God, the music and all. Oh God.
Well, it's too slavish an adaptation of the silent film, which and then it's Werner Herzog, who is hit or miss.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the remake of The Grinch, the Jim Carrey movie, compared to the original TV special.
Right.
And perfect movies, and then they spend all this money to make these remakes, and they're garbage compared to the original.
I don't know if you've heard about this, but the remake is in the works right now for Them.
Really?
By who?
By the guy. You're gonna hate it. By the guy who did Werewolf by Night.
Oh, see, I haven't seen
Michael Gian Carino or something like an Italian name. He's actually a musician. He's the guy who wrote music for the soundtrack for various films, and then he tried to hand his directing that horrible Werewolf by Night thing on Disney. And now they're giving him the reins to do Them. And I heard him in an interview say, Them is about, what did he say? It's going to have to do, part of the sub story here is going to be involving immigrants coming over the Mexican border.
It's a police procedural horror movie.
See, I'm confused. I thought it was about transgenderism.
Oh. Yeah. Well, ants, you have the drones, you have 3 sexes, 3 genders amongst the ants. So
we don't have to see, because it's all about a queen, and the queen, rules, so it really is a pro-feminist film.
Oh, it sounds like it's written by someone who's been married a long time.
My favorite line in the original Them is when Edmund Gwynn is telling all the military guys and everything about ants, and then he tells them, because the guy says, well, how far could that queen fly? Now that they know that these giant ants, he goes, oh well, they've found ants up in the stratosphere. Well, how do you find an ant in the stratosphere? I mean, I can't see an ant across the floor, and I'm seated. But they're in a jet going 300 miles an hour. Right. There's an ant.
Yeah.
Well, that Chinese balloon was covered in ants. So
is it Aunt Hazel that the Soviets shot up there and didn't bring her back like the dog or something?
Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing. I prefer like somebody like Neil Marshall remade it. I mean, somebody that knows what the hell they're doing.
Well, I told Graham this, going back to them, that and I'm sure I've used that and said that of what he said about ants in the stratosphere, because everything I know about ants I got from that movie. I just repeat it. Yeah. Oh man, you're almost at 12,000.
Almost at 12.
Whoa.
Yeah, 223 backers. Beautiful.
Sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're like one backer away, for God's sakes. Well, you know what? I didn't back it yet. Oh, I missed the. Hey, if I missed it the first hour, right? I missed the special sign up with when I signed up early.
Oh no, it's good for 48 hours.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
You missed the cook-off too.
But Billy, there was a second email that was sent because the first one that has those links in it, the Nolan cover link has been shut down because I hadn't included shipping costs in there.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to use the second email for the links. It would have been sent around, a little after 12.
Oh, okay. All right.
So use those links.
Let me see if I got
good.
Out of my mail here. I'm on my PC.
Because you're not getting free shipping, motherfucker.
No, I'm not. I would do that to you, bro. Just bring it to a con. Will it be ready by June? By the end of June, the book, you think?
Yeah. The hope is to be shipping in June.
All right. If it is, just bring it with you. All right.
All right.
All right. This is the sign up list secret link at 12:10 p.m. Could that be
it? Yep.
That's the right link.
Yeah, it would say right in the opening of the thing, I forgot to add shipping, blah, blah, blah.
Everything included, no stretch. All right, man, let's go to that. Now, are you shadow banned or no?
Oh. We don't say those words here.
Well, I think there's a reason why I survived that, and Rini, and we were talking about it yesterday. I don't know if you brought it up, Andy, but because my campaign is run by Deborah Tucci.
Right.
And Rini is run by Irene Strinkalski, so I don't know if they want to, to
ban women.
Right?
Wow.
Right? I mean, what would that? Imagine the repercussions of that.
Right.
There's a life hack for you all.
Yeah.
Identify differently.
Yeah.
All right, so Graham, just say a layman pops on and says, and I want to get one of these covers.
Yes, sir.
Your cover's taken off. The variant, there's not as much. Should I get the variant so that helps you with your numbers when you print them, or should I get yours?
You get whichever one you like.
No, I don't care.
Yeah. 47 of those. What's the other one? That's 47 of mine, and 3 of the variant. Okay. So, we got 17 of the CGC. That's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Let me get this right. Oh, I gotta write all this shit in.
Yeah. Oh, and there's 34 of the double trouble. So that adds 34 more to the variant.
I won't be happy till I have a whole long box to cart down to Sarasota.
Chuck Dixon, my friend, how have you been?
Good. How about you?
I'm all right, passable.
Oh, come on. You're always doing great.
Either
that or you're lying.
I'm a good time. That's all I can say.
You're a good sport, Billy.
Yeah. All right, let me jump in there, for God's sakes. Because I don't know the login. That's all my wife does all that.
It should. Isn't it in your keychain?
Well, I'm on the PC, so I don't know if the PC does that.
We're only 44 dollars away from 12,000.
Okay, where's my book? Hang on.
$45. My bad. Did I say 44?
Yeah.
That
Okay,
wouldn't
there
make
we
any
go.
sense, would it?
I'm gonna buy you a cigar. Can I add the cigar on?
No.
No. All right, I have to buy it. Well, there's
Yeah.
no shipping with the cigar, so I'll just buy a
No.
cigar afterwards.
You can bring that.
I'll
to
trade
New
you a
Jersey.
cigar for the shipping, but I'll pay for the shipping. All right, let's do this. Boom. All right, your boy Bill Tooch is just bought a book.
Nice. Much appreciated, Mr. Tucci. We
course.
watched Andy do it live too.
That's right.
Andy who?
Hey. But you
know,
know, Billy, Dan was number one. So.
Oh, was he? Yeah, he was all into that, huh?
It's
Yeah,
how
Dan
he gets
was
his
number one.
validation.
Yeah.
Let him have it.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see.
He's doing refresh. He finally gets it. All right, let's do a refresh and let's see how we did with Billy's additional purchases here. Ba ba ba. 11,955. Oh, it hasn't
come
registered
on,
yet.
guys, help us out, man. Help a brother out.
Hasn't registered. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes for it to go through.
All right, I'm doing the tweeter.
There it is.
Boom.
Boom, brother.
12. 227 backers.
Well, now my gas is covered.
Yeah. Wow, it took me 4 months to get the 12 grand on the Zombie Sama book.
Now we can pay the printer.
There you go. Perfect. All right, buddy. I shared it out.
Thanks,
Put it
pal.
up.
Yeah,
No, hey, man, if it sucked, I wouldn't get it.
that's not true.
That's not true. Plenty of sucky shit. You're my Goomba, so you're
That's
from
right.
Long Island, so of course I got to get my fellow
Oh,
bros,
of course.
support my
and,
bros.
and really, it is the month now. It's the first.
That's right.
And you know, we donkeys got to stay together.
That's right. We Irish got to sit together. So, I don't know if you know this, Chuck, but I'm 100% Irish on my mother's side this month.
Wow.
This month.
What? What am I green? Look at that.
Yeah, I'm 100% on my mother's side too. But that's all year long. So.
No, I am 10% Irish.
Wow.
Yep.
That's enough.
And it's
We're
the good
Ulster
10,
Scots.
Billy. It's the good
Chuck,
10.
well, you're a Dixon, so you're a borderer, so they kicked you.
Ulster
guys
Scott, yeah. They
Yeah,
kicked
they
us out
kicked
of
you guys
they kicked us
out
out of
of Ireland.
Scotland, then they kicked us out of Ireland.
Yeah.
So,
But
And
they
then we
can't
joined
kick
the
you out of
revolution. We
America.
got payback against
No.
those redcoats.
yeah, we built America, man. And we did a genealogy recently, and apparently I owe myself reparations. So
Oh, shit.
Oh, you should move to San Francisco. You could score maybe $5 million if that goes through.
seriously, man. Pick up
Yeah.
a payday.
I'm pro reparations. I'm absolutely pro reparations. As long as it's the right people get them.
So I haven't watched the news. I've been we're building the Kickstarter version of our other campaign, but my buddy told me that Lori Lightfoot lost the election.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So she didn't qualify for the special election.
Nope.
Nope. That nobody hit 50%. She also lost the beauty contest last week.
Oh.
too.
But on a high note, she won the best Yoda lookalike contest.
Yeah.
Ah.
Came in first place for Beetlejuice as well. So she
Yeah.
did win a couple things.
They cast her in the remake of Beetlejuice, so you know she does have a job lined up.
What a horrible person.
Oh, she is absolutely terrible. I feel so bad for those people in Chicago that had to put up with her bullshit and the deaths, the yearly deaths in that city because they were just ineffectual in governing.
What got me is they had this shootout between two gangs, and they let them all walk because it was mutual combat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, what is this, Dodge City? Mutual combat.
I don't even think they let them get away with that in Dodge City.
I mean, how is
Yeah.
mutual combat even considered? I mean,
Right.
where did they come up with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all doomed.
So if you fire back after you're attacked,
Right.
that's mutual combat.
No. Only if you're a gang member and you got your gun illegally.
Wow.
If you're attacked and you're a legal citizen carrying a legal firearm, you're in a world of trouble.
Oh my god! Fuck my life.
My lord.
Sorry.
No, it's insane, and the thing is, it's hurting the people they say they want to help. Oh well, there are too many minorities incarcerated. There are too many minorities in the graveyard, my friend. from you not doing anything about this.
Yep.
I need to figure out what time it is here.
What time is it?
5:30, sir.
And then that's how we bring Ethan Van Skyver.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Welcome. Why am I welcoming you? This is your show. I feel like I'm always the guy welcoming people. It's an honor to be here. Hello, Mr. Dixon, sir. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
What was this about minorities in the cemetery? Fascinating.
We're talking about Chicago and how Lori Lightfoot lost, and just her ineffectual governance causing so many deaths in that city over the years.
Did you hear her lecture? That clip of her saying, "We don't want to treat you like criminals, but we will treat you like criminals. If you don't mask up around here, you're criminals." And she got, you got to be kidding me, Graham. I mean, these people are insane. They're absolutely nuts. You don't treat real criminals like criminals, but you treat people who are ignoring or not respecting mask mandates as criminals.
Yeah.
Texas Jeff Amison says mutual combat is a law in a lot of places, but that's a really hard sell for a gang shootout.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? Jeff Amison.
Yeah,
God bless him.
I love that guy. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Who? Jeff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Yeah. I'm going to Texas this weekend. I got a show there.
Yeah, he's up there in that area.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah. He's in the Dallas area. That's where I met him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah. Gonna do the cigar and Hawaiian shirt night Saturday night. So yeah.
All right.
It'll be fun.
While I was out shopping for groceries and various shredded chicken, some steak, some fish, good things to keep me in ketosis.
Very nice.
It's very important.
Very nice.
And while I was out there, I was checking my email on my phone, and it said that Joe Frankenstein is live, and I was like, no effing way. So I got very excited, and I've been following Joe Frankenstein's campaign progress while I was driving around in my car, dropping off packages and buying chicken and various meats.
Good fatty meats.
See, that's the thing. I'm not sure. Like, I got yelled at because I bought 4 big fat pork chops the other day, and I've eaten 2 of them, and I felt pretty good about myself. And then some other, everybody knows more than everyone else all the time with this.
Right.
It's just, and they go, not pork chops, Ethan. Stay away from the pig meat. And I say, Graham said bacon. He said get bacon. Like I trust you. I don't trust some of these anonymous weirdos on the internet. I trust you.
The weirdo,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So anyway, I went out and I got I don't know what fatty meats are, because I would think pork would be a fatty meat, but I guess not. Like maybe not.
No, the only reason people say not to avoid it, but just that beef is better, is because a cow is a ruminant animal. So the distribution of nutrition through the cow is much better than in a pig. And a pig eats a lot of shit. I don't mean fecal matter. I just mean crap food. Anything that's
You've never been to a pig farm.
Well, I'm not saying it's not that too.
Oh, I don't want to tell you what they feed them.
Yeah. So
you're getting a lot of newsprint too, my friend.
Oh. Who ate a lot of newsprint was my Basset Hound Pumpkin.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Yeah, when she was being trained, I don't know why she's a critic, but she does not like Jim Apato's work.
Whoa. Whoa.
Pumpkin ate like 2 Jim Aparo comics.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she really likes Jim Aparo.
Maybe Jim Aparo books taste better. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would think they would.
Maybe she got a little dead man in her.
That sounds weird.
Can I hear about Joe Frankenstein? Will you guys, Chuck? Are you writing this? Is this your story?
Graham and I wrote it together. It's originally Graham's baby, and he was fortunately for me, he brought me on board to help him out.
What caused the idea to come forth?
Graham.
Well, it started with an idea that I wanted to do a horror version of Doc Savage, do like pulp adventures, but have a horror feel. And I had a title. It was called Doc Frankenstein, and the Wachowski brothers copyrighted that title, and
Sisters.
they actually produced. What's that?
Sisters, yeah.
Yeah, the sisters. They copied.
Don't you dead name them? Don't you dead name the Matrix?
I've already been yelled at twice for that.
Yeah.
And they produced a comic, 2 or 4 issues of a really bad comic, and so they copyrighted it. So I was calling Chuck to talk to him about it. It's like, I'm in a quandary. I got this idea, and I can't use the title. He says, well, give it a different title. I'm like, well, I just can't call it Joe Frankenstein. Why not? He says that's a great title. And so we'd been looking for something to work on because we hadn't done anything together in a while. And I said, well, do you want to work on this together? And he's like, yeah. And because we both love Universal horror movies, and we decided to do it as a love letter to not only the Universal monster movies, but high adventure films, action adventure films, and marry those 2 genres together.
Is Joe Frankenstein the protagonist here? Is he the guy on the high adventure, or is he being hunted? What's the
little bit of both?
Both. Yeah. Joe was a teenager. He's been living in foster care all his life. And then he's delivering pizzas one night, and he gets attacked by a coven of vampires. And before they can kill him, their feast is interrupted by this guardian angel. And the guardian angel turns out to be the Frankenstein monster, who reveals to Joe that his name is not Joe Pratt, and never was, that he's the last heir of Victor Frankenstein. And that the monster's been watching over him his entire life, and all the descendants down the line is penance for the misery and death that he caused back in the 1700s. And
wow.
The reason he's being hunted is because the monster's bride needs Joe's blood, because in it is the key to unlock eternal life, which she does not have. The Victor Frankenstein didn't want to make a second mistake by creating this monster that could live forever. So he didn't give her that aspect, but she's kept alive through sorcery and transplants and all that kind of shit. But she wants eternal life like the monster has. And so she needs Joe's blood to do that. And so that's what prompts the story of her trying to hunt down and the monster trying to protect her.
So the bride of Frankenstein is a villain here this time. That's amazing.
The ex-wife.
Yeah, she's an ex-wife.
She wants your blood.
Apropos.
Yeah.
And for those of us who have been there,
Yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
hey, this sounds really great. Are there pages? Can we see?
Yeah,
pages?
let's show some pages here. Boom. Oh, like you weren't here for the video, were you?
I didn't see any of this. I was in my car just watching the numbers.
We'll show the video again because it's just too cool.
Okay. Blow it up. Nice. Ah.
Got a good stogie there.
Yeah. Is that the bride?
No.
Oh.
That's another character.
looks great.
I love the electricity that gives birth to the logo. I think that is
Awesome.
really, really cool. My guy Nick Grosh, the guy who's done the Chinook and Alien Alamo videos for me, did this one as well. Just knocked it out of the park.
It looks spectacular. I can't wait to promote it.
Absolutely.
ASAP. Let's see some pages, please.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sorry, I'm joining late, everyone.
There's a lot of new people that have come in, I'm sure.
Never hurts to review.
That's right.
So here's the main cover that you guys can order. That's done by me.
What's his gun? Why does he have a gun like that?
It is an ultraviolet ray gun, basically a supercharged flashlight or sunlight that he uses against vampires.
Oh, yeah, that's great. I've never seen that before.
It just melts them. It's like pure sunlight.
Why has nobody done that before? Why has that never been in a vampire movie? That's such a brilliant idea, and I've never seen anything like it.
Well, why, when people go to kill the vampire, they always wait till nighttime?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I asked the same question when I saw 30 Days a Night come out. I smack myself in the head and I say, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Vampires go to Barrow, Alaska for 6 months of darkness. Why the hell didn't I think of that?
Brilliant.
So when I saw the Escape from New York trailer, I was like, damn it.
Right. Okay, here's the sneak peek. These are the new lettered pages that Carlos Manguel has lettered for us. Looks much better than the IDW version. So we got Joe about to deliver pizzas.
Great establishing shot, too. Look at that. I love the snow, the big fat piles of snow on top of that kind of Victorian neighborhood there.
Yeah, how'd you reference that, Graham?
Is that somebody's house?
Did you see that?
No, it's just a neighborhood in Buffalo.
Yeah.
It was very easy to reference.
Where does the Chinook take place?
Chinook takes place in Buffalo also.
Oh boy, am I?
But that's part of the connection.
Here?
That's part of the Nolanverse connection. There is, and if you read the Chinook, there's a reference to Joe Frankenstein even before we decided to print this, where a guy says, talking about the Chinook, like he doesn't believe in it. It's just a myth. And he says, "Oh yeah, if you believe in that, you probably believe in that old chestnut about the monster and the kid living in the grain elevators." Direct reference to Joe Frankenstein.
Well, thank God Buffalo has Graham Nolan living there. I'll tell you that. That place would be in trouble.
Well, if it doesn't warm up soon, he's not going to be.
Oh yeah, what's this? Here
he is. You got the little sexiness here as he delivers these pizzas.
So what traits, does he share any traits from the original Dr. Frankenstein that have sort of passed down? Does he say anything are there any kind of cute sort of Easter eggs in his personality or dialogue that's reflected back to the original source material, or no?
Well, there's lots of Easter eggs in this that reflect back on a lot of the Universal monster movies, which, he's a modern kid. So he's used to watching movies, and there are Frankenstein movies in his world. That's why he doesn't believe that this guy could be the real thing. He doesn't realize that those movies were actually based on something that really happened. But there's he doesn't know his lineage, so there's no reference for him to Victor Frankenstein. It's more like pop culture reference. Like he thinks his name is Joe Pratt, and that's an Easter egg for fans of Frankenstein, because Edward Pratt was the real name of Boris Karloff. So his father and his mother was Glenn, after Glenn Strange, one of the actors that played Frankenstein.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So there's all these little Easter eggs in here.
My favorite is the updated version of the Angry Villagers.
Oh yeah. See that?
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. Like they're in this apartment building, high-rise apartment, high-end place in New York, where the bride has all her minions and all her electronic shit, and by by turning it on, she shuts down the power in the apartment building, and all the apartment dwellers get all pissed off because they lost their power and their wives can't watch their soaps and all that kind of shit. And they go storming up the stairs with their flashlights, which are also known as torches. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
The chat is sitting there saying, stop making Graham spoil the. I'm not making him spoil the story. I'm asking him for little tidbits and things that might, I don't know, whet the appetite. But I'm not asking for the end of the story at all, or any plot points. Just
there's lots of story. We're not spoiling any of it.
Oh yeah, believe me. We're just giving you the basic structure.
You hear that, chat? So shut up, Graham's chat. How dare you?
As Buster Crabbe once said, there's lots of plot.
Yes. Well, here's something I don't ever remember in a movie either that we came up with, whether it's been done or not, was the garlic in the pizza.
Oh, good.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not that the pizza's hot; it's the garlic which is causing her face to bubble up.
That's great. The thing is, that's one of the hardest things for a creator, at least for me, is to not give out too much information or spoilers.
Yeah,
you get so excited about something,
Oh, I know.
That's the one thing that's really hard about working in the indies and working by yourself, especially, is that when you're working at DC, you're working with a creative team and an editor, and there's a lot of ideas, a lot of enthusiasm. You get to talk to people through the story.
Right.
You can't really do too much of that anymore. I talk to my wife, but other than that, you get excited about an idea that you have and you have to keep it to yourself. It's you can't give feedback.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys working together, I mean, you don't, I'm sure it's pretty, you got a little bit of that going on where you can work together.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things we had Carlos do when we had this relettered was to give the monster his own unique word balloons. And so now he has this sort of scary, gravelly looking word balloon, which is so much cooler. And on this page here, we added the logo instead of just a font, which they did in the IDW version. So the sound effects, everything is much cooler and upgraded, and it's going to look so much cooler in the new book.
Better package all around.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Colors are great though too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Joe Frankenstein is part of the new mobile game that's coming out this month called Comics Chaos, which is part of Spin Rack, which is the company that Chuck and I are involved in. That's utilizing our IP for gaming and NFTs and a different kind of comic book. We call it Comics 3.0, which is going to actually involve fans and stuff and be much more immersive.
And it looks really great.
Look, it does.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
buddy. Both of you guys.
Cool.
Let's do a refresh here, see what we got, if we got any movement. So we're at 12,755. All right. 13.5.
Whoa! Come on
Nice.
now.
Nice bump.
Yes,
251 backers. Also, Ethan, this campaign is 30 days. There's no in demand. It's in and out because I want this fulfilled quickly since the work is already done. And then we have to launch part 2 because this is only part 1, so that they have the entire story. So following this one will be part 2. So because I want people to have both these books before the Ghost of Matacumba Key come out, so things will make more sense to them.
Oh, so that's tied into this too, buddy?
Oh yeah. What happens in Ghost of Matacumba Key is going to blow your mind once you've read these books.
Well, I'm excited about talking about this. I just feel like this is a really, another really commercial project from you. It ain't hard to sell. It's going to be great. So another 6 figures for you. And it's going to be as simple as that.
Are we drinking again then?
Yeah, when we get to 6 figures. I got to 6 figures last night on one of my Cyberfrog campaigns. I was like, I forgot what this felt like. It's
Yeah, what time did you stream, buddy? You guys, you went on late, right?
Yeah, I was closing out the John Malin cut book. Chuck, I had John Malin write. I had this thing where this book, I'm still putting it together. I need some more projects for this, some more short stories. But it's called Cool Story Bro, and you just take like a feminine kind of fairy tale or fable, and then just make it like obnoxiously high tea. So I'm doing. I have a couple of pretty cool things in the works. It's got to be toxically masculine as much as possible, but for kids, you want it to be for kids. John Malin took Little Red Riding Hood, and he basically mixed Menace to Society with The Howling. So there's this little black kid in a black hoodie, and his grandfather has been overtaken by werewolves, the big bad wolves in his neighborhood. And John felt free to liberally sprinkle the N-word through this. Now, soft A N-word, you know what I'm talking about? Because it's in this. He's like, I wanted it to be authentic, and also I was high. He told me. So that was interesting. Now I said, I'm going to censor the hell out of this, you jackass. And he said, but the audience said no. We would like to have an uncensored version too. So we did something called the Mail-in Cut, which was just a 20-page look at the original story uncensored, and it sold buckets. Like last night I closed it out. It sold 1,245 copies of this little book at $20 a piece.
Wow,
crazy.
Awesome.
So John Malin, I guess I'm going to get John to do a new cover for it and stuff. But that's what I was up for last night. I stayed up until 3 a.m. to hide that perk so that nobody knows that I'm going to publish the N-word pretty soon.
Nice.
I said, John, as a white man who was not Scott Adams, how many times do you feel entitled to use the N-word per page in a comic book? And he said 11, 12, at the tops.
He has a number in his head.
Yeah. He doesn't want to overdo it, but
what about 13, John? No.
13 is too many. You're pushing it. But
many.
it works. It's really, really good. Like, he did a great job, and the dialogue is authentic. And like I said, Menace to Society meets The Howling, which awesome. Obviously a pretty good mix.
Yeah.
So
let me
I did
take
that
care of
last
a couple
night.
of these super chats from Nordman, $4.99. Any potential challenge coins to add to my collection? You saw it, Graham. I'll have a challenge coin probably up for the second one, for part 2 rather. But we had to get this one up and running quick. But even if we don't have it for part 2, there will be a Joe Frankenstein challenge coin on one of the campaigns coming up. So the answer is yes to that, my friend. And let's see, we got another one here. There you go. Alpha Suma. $20 super chat. Thank you. Hi, Graham, Chuck, Andy, Billy, and Ethan. Great group of creators. Picked up the CGC. Nice. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
I want that long box.
Okay, I just want to make sure I caught everybody here. There we go. Okay.
That'd be cool to do a set of coins for this that look like the coins that, what do they call, Chuck, when you put coins over a dead person's eyes?
Coins.
Just coins. Is there any kind of terminology for that?
Yeah.
That you pay the guy at the river Styx with, I guess.
Hey, Sharon for the passage.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool to do something like that for a book like this, where you make 2 challenge coins and then just sort of mount them on like Joe Frankenstein's face right over his eyes. Like, that would be like a cool packaging. You'd sell a ton of those, I tell you.
That could be cool.
Just a thought.
Yeah. I did a challenge coin for Ghost of Matacumba Key.
How'd that come out? Billy's all about the challenge coins. I've got a ton of Billy Tucci challenge coins.
Well, thank you, my brother.
These came out really
people
cool.
love them. People like them. They're cool. Oh, look at that. That's a nice one, Graham. Can you go
Yeah.
full screen?
Sure.
It's got color.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's what's incredible.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm going
That's
to get the information from
Then on
that.
the back, see, it says Compass Comics Series 1. And then those 2 things on the edges are the Compass Comics logo. So like the Joe Frankenstein would have an image of Joe here, and it'll have the logo or the words Joe Frankenstein, the year the book came out. And then on the back will be the logo, the actual Joe logo. And it'll be, part of whatever series that is.
Cool.
So yeah, that'll be really cool for collecting. So these are available on the Ghost of Matacumba Key campaign, folks. So
Do you have a bunch of those? Do you have a lot of those to sell?
Well, I ordered some as a test. I ordered the bare minimum as a test, and I've already sold through those. So I have to actually have more manufactured before I start fulfilling.
I'd like to have like
that's my favorite challenge coin.
Which one you got there?
Hold on,
Ralph
let me.
Puckett, Medal of Honor winner in Vietnam.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Lieutenant Puckett sent it to me. So
wow.
Wow, dude.
yeah, Medal of Honor.
that
That's
wins.
cool. Yeah.
Getting drinks all day long.
Real live badass.
Wow, that's cool.
What if you made like a mounted like holder for all of your? I think like this. I'm sorry, this isn't what you guys do, but like what if you made like a page, something that people could collect that has a slot for every one of your coins, so that they would have to collect them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I thought about that, like having a wooden thing made up so that you could actually display them,
Mhm.
in a shape. I know some places make those, but
Old Franklin Mint gimmick.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I mean, that would make people want to buy all of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Feed that compulsion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I when I go to have more of these made, I'm gonna over make them so that I have them for other campaigns, because as people start to see that it's a collection, there's more, they're gonna want to get those ones that they missed out on too.
If you want help with that, I'll help you with that. I'm pretty good with manufacturing at this point. If you want to talk about what that might cost to make something like that, and if that would be because you end up we make a lot of money on trading cards because of our trading card binder.
Right.
We just keep Cyberfrog trading cards coming out all the time. It keeps our subscribes to our Patreon going, YouTube channel members and all that stuff. But also just whenever we put out a pack of cards, we make as much money on those trading cards as we do comics, believe it or not.
Wow.
So if you can just make something that inspires people to collect and want to fill in gaps and things like that in their collection, people will do that, especially for what you're building. I mean, the Nolan verse is really exciting. So
yeah. Thank you. And speaking of exciting, we have one of our friends here.
That was a perfect intro for me.
Lopez.
So much. Howdy, guys.
A man called Lopez.
I have returned. The man.
That sounds
Lopez.
like an Italian spaghetti western.
It does. You can thank Mr. Van Sciver for that label. But
I'm an idiot, and then it sticks every single time.
You just have to say it one time, and it's become permanent.
I don't know why that happened. How embarrassing. Great to see you, Aaron. Hello.
Well, great to see you, Ethan. Chuck, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while.
Been a while.
Sergio.
Oh wow. Hello.
Very nice.
Sergio.
Well, so how's the campaign rolling along here at this fine hour?
Well, it's funny you should ask. Let's take a look.
Oh.
Let's do a refresh here.
14. Let's go.
13,770.
Nice.
We're getting there.
Yep. Nice.
Just 2 hours in. That's nice.
Hell yeah.
I just rolled out of bed. So
Now the question is, why hasn't Kelly Jones done a cover for it yet?
For Joe?
That's the only question. Why hasn't Kelly Jones contributed a 24-hour variant for this campaign and doubled its income?
Yeah, Graham.
Oh, Kelly did a cover for Ghost of Matacumba.
That's clearly you have a relationship. This is his type of thing. Yeah, he'd be great at this. I want to get Kelly Jones too, but I don't.
Yeah, you should. Kelly's
I don't want to
great.
get him in trouble. Yeah, but you can get him in trouble. He's not going to
Kelly's one of those Teflon guys. I think in that people know who he is. They know who he hangs with and his beliefs. But
he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
pretty much. Well, he tried to get on Comicsgate Kings that one night, if you remember, around Christmas time, and we had him on for about 30 seconds, and
we had Bill Willingham, and we couldn't get it to work. And I was like,
I remember Willingham. We had trouble with him getting.
No, Kelly Jones just popped up one, and he had like these weird Christmas lights behind him, and then he tried to talk, and we couldn't hear him, and then he bleeped out that he came back, and then he bleeped out, and then.
Hey, Nordman, for a $1.99 super chat. If there ever is a fans fest, I'm challenging y'all. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna do it eventually.
I'm sorry, but what does that mean?
Yeah, what are we challenged to?
Well, the challenge coins.
Oh, okay.
Apparently he's got a coin that's better than all yours.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I don't know what it would be.
I thought maybe it was a push-up challenge or something.
Sergio Corello wants to come in.
Come on, Sergio.
Where is he?
Speaking of Italian westerns.
Let me in. All right, we'll let Sergio in. Hold on. Let me. I'll send it to you in Facebook Messenger, Sergio.
He's another one that I would love to get on the show regularly. I don't know what he's doing, but
man, I was on with him once on your show, Ethan, and he fell asleep.
What? He's worse than Mike Barron, man.
The show wasn't as cool back then. It's a little bit more fun and noisy now. But yeah, I remember that. I got both of you guys on for an interview. It was fantastic. Yeah. And we had you on for a couple times for Comicsgate King. So I wish you'd be a regular. But whenever you want. Yeah.
I got a lot happening coming up, so I'll be stopping by.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be the only guy in the room who's got nothing going on at the moment.
There's so many people like that, but you still show up, and the idea is basically like you show enthusiasm for other people's projects, so then everybody shows enthusiasm for yours when it's your turn, and that's the system.
Yeah, but you come on and you go, "What are you working on?" I can't tell you.
Right. I can't believe you're not working on anything at every time.
I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah. But I can't. I got like 3 things now. I can't tell you. I'm sworn to secrecy. So
wow, I know what one of them is.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think we're working together, kind of, from what I understand.
Okay.
But you didn't know that.
How intriguing!
I don't know, but yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Thickens.
Blue Boy says Ethan's only here for Chuck Dixon clout. You better believe it. What's wrong with that?
I am the Jesus of Comicsgate.
I've been riding that train for 30 years.
Hell yeah.
I'm here to bless you all.
All right, Sergio, I sent you the link. Go to your messenger.
Get in here.
And get your ass in here.
Get your ass in here.
Billy,
get your Brazilian bum in here.
So, Ethan, is the door open for me to do a He-Man fairy tale? Is that what you're saying to me?
Would you like to? Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Do you have an artist in mind?
I'll figure one out.
Okay. Yeah. What I have right now.
Nobody here.
Okay. What I have right now is Gingerbread Man by Kenneth Rocafort. Zach, your boy Zach, our friend, he did Princess and the Pea. I'm doing Snow White. And then we've got John Malin's Little Red Riding Hood. And I think that's it right now. I've got Kelsey Shannon talking about doing something. Kurt Metzger wants to do Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast just negs Beauty. You eating again. And then she ends up washing the singing dishes. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, if you want to do anything other than that, I wanted to do.
Which one are you doing, Ethan?
I'm doing Snow White. I'm doing something called Bro White about a fat gamer who gets a bunch of midget women to rub his feet. Let him.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Sergio.
Hey,
bud.
What's up, Sergio?
What's up, guys?
How you doing today?
Sergio.
I'm good.
How you doing in all that sunshine?
Oh, man, I love it.
Screw you.
I love
Freezing today.
It's perfect drone weather.
Yeah.
That's right.
Perfect drone weather for sure. I
gotta take off, guys. Dennis just got here. We got to prep for the show later. Grant, congratulations. Great launch.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, good seeing you all, and I'll catch you guys later.
Right.
All right. Take care, Andy.
Always
Bye,
good
guys.
to see you, Andy. And now it's a 6-panel grid, my favorite.
That's right. It's all even again.
If I could make mine a circle, dude, I would.
Wow.
Ethan, did I ever tell you the time we were working on Bane Conquest, and I did this like splash page, real Kubert-esque, and I had the sinking ship, and then I had an insert panel that was a circle. in there. And I sent the pages to Chuck, and he lets me know. He says, yeah, I'm not a big fan of circular panels. And I said, yeah, but Kubert does them all the time. And he writes back, you're no Joe Kubert.
Stay humble. Stay
My
humble,
pal.
Yeah.
My pal.
And as a writer, I had to recently give him what should have been his comeback line. Well, you're no Bob Kanigher.
Yeah.
That's right. You're no Bob Haney.
Oh, now that hurts.
My wife said something similar to me too about my neighbor, and he's very preppy. So I'm like, I bought myself a pair of Sperry docksiders, topsiders and preppy clothes. And I'm like, I come downstairs and she's like, what are you wearing? I'm like, what do you mean? It's cool, and it's like Bayport. It's like, you look Bayport I live in a town called Bayport. You look frumpy. And I'm like, yeah, but Jimmy Whitehouse wears this. And she's like, you know Jimmy Whitehouse.
Uh-oh, Anthony, run for the hills.
I forgive Anthony anything.
How dare you?
Hey, I don't owe you, Nolan.
What's your problem with circular panels?
I don't know.
He's a snob.
Yeah, I am. It's like I like grids, man. I like grids.
Do you like grids all the time, or what if you break up the grids with anchor panels?
If I could write grids all the time, that's why I wanted to work for Benelli in Italy. I got to do it 3 times because it's all grids in Italian comics.
What if you have a binoculars? Do you have to have a square binoculars?
The what?
If you have a binoculars.
Oh yeah, when you're looking through binoculars.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
What do you do?
It's a square panel with black negative space around the circle. You know you're looking through a binocular.
That's right.
He gotcha.
Man, he's got an answer for everything. Damn.
I do.
It's not a good answer, but it's an answer.
Hey, I only got answers about comic books. I don't have any other answers.
But don't you feel like the grids, you use a grid to sort of build up, build, and then boom, it opens up. Like you change the way you open up and you air it out like when something calls for it. But
Sure.
people just talking, moving, things like that, grid, just so you suggest stability. But I mean, yeah, I've seen, obviously you write anchor panels, you write pages like that, like Dan Jurgens would draw, like Graham draws. I don't know, there's a feel to it, right? It's like instinctive. But yeah, I don't use circle panels either. I can't imagine what it would be for. Like, what would it be for? When would it be appropriate? What would you be saying?
It's like a call out. I mean, when Graham used it, he used it in the Kubert style. It's a ship sinking. It's this big, massive, big money panel. And then he has a circular panel. It's like a close-up of Bane's reaction to it all. And Kubert did it all the time with Sergeant Rock.
Does that mean that Graham Norton graduated? He was up to it up to a point, and then okay, you can use it now.
It's just an inset panel. It's like an inset.
Circular
I use it for close-ups sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's for. Yeah. That's what it's for. But I like the grid because you can play with time. You can slow the story down or speed it up.
What do you mean by that? Well, how do you do that?
Depending on the action. You can make the action closer together, more cinematic.
More,
and then you can slow down time by adding more panels. Maybe you do an 8-panel grid.
How can we make this grid more exciting? We have 6 talking heads here. We each would have to make a pose, right?
Yeah. But I use it even in action shots. To build. It's like sometimes it's a montage. Sometimes it's a step by step. If you're doing a heist story, you want to see each step of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to do the Flash.
We're all comics geeks here. Now, be honest. When you were a kid and you were with your other comic geek friends, did you do shit like, Gil Kane?
Yes.
Jack Kirby.
That is good.
Dale Keown.
Right?
Well, Gil Kane would have been this.
Yeah, exactly. Sal Buscema.
I can honestly say I never did that.
Frank Robbins.
We all hurt ourselves doing Frank Robbins.
Yeah, I think I just put a muscle.
What about Tom McFarlane's Spider-Man pose? You can't really do that.
No.
Well, yeah, you can just hide your feet behind a planter.
Yeah.
You have to be sitting down, I think, to do a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man pose. Mostly, yeah.
And very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And no belly.
Mm-mm.
No
But
belly.
that was fun when you're kids, you know, and each one of those artists had a stylistic aspect to them that really made them stand out. And it was fun when you notice that shit, you know.
I remember when I was a kid reading a Thor story, and I was nearsighted, and I didn't have glasses yet. I was like 6. And I'm reading a Thor, and I had to hold the comic like right up to my face to see it. And I'm following a 6-panel grid by Kirby in a Thor story. And I can't see the bottom of the page because I literally can't see it, right? Because I haven't held it up to my face yet. And I get to the last panel, and Thor is in troll country. We haven't seen the troll yet. And you guys know this page. In the last panel, the hand of a troll comes out and grabs Thor's ankle. And when I was a kid,
Kulik.
Yeah. And when I'm reading it, I'm like, I couldn't see it coming, literally. Oh, I love 6-panel grids.
I love that issue.
What if you do this? Because I wanted to do this, but I don't know if it would work. And also, I was driving Jeff Johns crazy because we're talking about doing the Flash, and I had all this energy for the Flash, and I wanted to just do a thing where a 6-panel grid during a chase scene with Professor Zoom, crazy stuff is happening. Flip the page; it's twice as many panels, more speed. And then before you know it, you've got like a 56-panel grid of just, so I wonder if that would move faster or slower. And that was the question that if you have a billion panels on a page, does that mean that they're moving faster or did you just slow the action way down? And I could never figure that out. That's not a conversation you could have with someone like Jeff Johns, but what would your impression of that be? What would the feeling be of that many panels on a page?
Well, I think the reader would understand they're moving faster, but you're also getting across that from their perspective, everything's slowing down.
Exactly.
Oh.
It would have worked.
It's like images on a screen, that boom, 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 that, but it's like reaction shots. Like you might see like a crowd scene and everybody's looking as the volcano is blowing off in the distance and you're catching those reaction shots. So it's like pop, 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 pop of all these different faces with the reaction. And then maybe the pullback shot would be the payoff of what they're seeing, right. And that's when it slows.
This is the other thing.
Experiment, Ethan.
Well, this is the other thing I wanted to do. And I got to come up with a speedster character so that I can do this because at DC, they had no fucking imagination. Like you would just be like, I want to make a book that's actually an art piece that demonstrates how fast the Flash moves. So here's what happens. He's in the kitchen with his wife. What's his wife's name? I forget now. Iris.
Nina.
Iris. And she's got a cup of coffee in her hand. Big splash page, a big conversation. And then suddenly Zoom comes in and just suddenly they're in a fight. So on one side of the page is a splash page of Iris reacting and the coffee cup falling. And every other page is that splash page, but the cup a little bit and the reaction a little bit more. On the other page, on the other side, on the I guess the right-hand side, would be 16 panels of fighting between all over the world between Flash and Professor Zoom. And then on this opposite splash, you've just got this slow reaction to the coffee cup falling. You do this for 64 pages, and on the very last page, Barry, having won, catches the cup.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
So you would have had a flip animation cartoon that said this entire thing that you read took place in a split second.
That's awesome.
And cool. They told me no.
No.
Yeah, it's like fuck. That should have won an Eisner.
Oh god, frustrating. So enraging about stuff like that. But my biggest problem with DC was they set Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns as milestones that could never be duplicated, and then they made sure that you could never get anywhere near that kind of that level. Oh, horrible.
Yeah, but then they have everybody ripping it off.
Exactly. They don't mind mining it over and over again, but they won't let you. I mean, when I did Robin Year One, I said, look, this should have the same trade dress as Batman Year One. They're like, oh my God. I mean, you dare suggest this is the equal of Batman Year One? And I'm like, hey, even if it isn't, it's marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Just never got it.
Right. Which is what they should have done with Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn it, it is the equal of Batman Year One. I'm sorry, we worked hard on this.
Do you think that there's a
Thank you, Jay Baum.
you think a lot of this maybe was that they just did not want anybody to become a superstar again, so they would have more power than the companies did? Because that's essentially what happened with Frank Miller and Alan Moore. Was that they pretty much could do whatever they want, and the fans loved them so much, and so it's like, well, we're not letting this happen again. Kind of like the whole Image thing. I mean, I wonder if maybe
that's the conspiracy theory. A lot of people say that.
Yeah, I think they want there's such personalities that there are certain creators they don't want to do something great.
Yeah,
no, that's probably true. That's probably true too.
Yeah,
definitely true.
Yeah, because look at the people they've given carte blanche to, who they just weren't up to it.
Right.
For the most part, that's absolutely true. I wonder why. I had a conversation with somebody once. Who was it? I was like, why are all the stupidest people in charge? He goes, because all the people that are creative and have great ideas want to make the product. They don't want to be in charge. And so that's what you get, right? You get all these people with great ideas and skill, but we're underneath all these people with no vision and no creativity, and we're subject because they're the ones with the power and the money. And so we're just, we just want to create really cool stuff, and they're constantly getting in our way of doing it.
And the irony of that is you got Graham, Billy, Ethan, they're having to do it all now. To do what they want to do, they got to do all that shit that none of us wanted to do.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess the joke's on us, right?
Be careful what you wish for.
Well, the money's better.
The money's better. We're not producing as many books. I mean, that's obviously hurtful. People are just like, very angry that Cyberfrog is taking so long to produce, but I'm working on it every day. And it's just a much bigger task than it was to just sit down and draw somebody else's script with pencil or maybe with ink and just turn it in real quick. Yep. It's just a much bigger task, but the work means so much more. I don't care about anything I did for DC. I don't care. Like, this stuff is going to stand the test of time, if anything is, when it comes to my work. It's worth it. It's just worth it.
I'm laughing at Larry's chat here.
Yeah. Oh, Larry Stroman's here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Larry.
This is my favorite writer. I have all his Alien Legion comics.
Even the ones he didn't draw.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have those.
Thank you, Larry.
Good to see you, Larry. That's a talented dude right there.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to drawing big booty.
Oh my God, man. His stuff was amazing.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing now. What's he doing now?
Come back, Larry. Tell us what you're doing now.
Yeah. Post in there, Larry. Well, he did the story with Chuck for Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah,
that was awesome. And Kelsey colored it too. That was a nice combination.
Kelsey, the missing Kelsey. He's on hiatus right now currently.
Again?
Yeah.
He's
disappeared.
He's gone.
He doesn't want to. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk when he's working. He really does want to just crawl into his cave and work, and then he comes back all sunshine and happiness, having created something wonderful.
God, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. And
I
here
need a
we
month
are.
in a cabin.
Here we are. It's funny. We were talking about guys that, had creative vision and stuff. It made, when you were thinking about, when you were talking about shrinking time or expanding time storytelling, of course you think of Eisner, but I always think of Stranko and the stuff that he just had for that period of time. He had carte blanche at Marvel, and he was just doing whatever he wanted. And you look at that house and pardon me, the, oh God, what was that?
Tower of Shadows?
Yes, thank you. Tower of Shadows, #1. The 3 issues of Captain America he did, things like that were just, just some really interesting and innovative type storytelling that he was trying out. And it was like, apparently Stan was just like, whatever. Although Stan probably bitched about it, but at least he let him do it.
I think
he stood it all on its head, man. Because I remember when those comics came out, he was like the first new guy,
Yeah.
He's the first guy that didn't draw comics my dad read.
Right.
He was drawing comics.
Right.
But
exactly.
you know what Steranko did is he took the kind of storytelling that Bernie Kriegsteen was innovating back in the 50s and marvelized it. And added some advertising aspects to it as well, and then came up with this whole Steranko look. But you got to give credit to Kriegstein too for the type of angle or camera work that Jim was doing as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of Eisner there too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Do you think Steranko lit a fire under Neil Adams' butt? Because Neil Adams, when he first started, was just pretty much doing straight, storytelling and stuff, and then he really started experimenting, getting wild about the same time Steranko did. And there was definitely a competition between those two guys. But it seems to me that Steranko was the first one to start getting a little bit off the beaten path and trying some new things. And then Adams was like, hey, wait a minute. You're not going to,
He even referenced Steranko in one of those panels.
Yeah, in the Dead Man story.
Right.
And,
it's interesting, Aaron, because you look at those years, and it's like 1968 when Steranko was really on fire. Is the same time that Neil was doing, wasn't that when he was doing X-Men? Was that 68? Yeah. And he was doing all those crazy camera angles, like those vertical.
Right. Some of it worked and some of it didn't work, but I give him credit for at least giving it a shot,
Right.
Yeah. A lot of it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Because as I've said before, when you move the panels in such a way that your eye leaves the story or has to think about it as a drawing as opposed to being immersed in the story, I'm out. Now I'm looking at a piece of art for art's sake instead of being immersed in the storytelling.
And that's the trick, that's the trick is how cute can you get without disrupting the flow of the story, or how I shouldn't say cute, but how interesting, different can you make your stuff without pulling the reader out of it and start going, kind of like an image comic. Like you're not really reading the story. You're just kind of looking at the art.
Yeah.
Right. Where you want to be immersed in reading the story, but you don't want it to be dull. But at the same time, you've got to maintain this sort of the illusion of reality there, and you don't want to break it. And so it is tricky because, like you said, Chuck, you can just do the 6-panel grid and you can do some really effective storytelling in there. But there also seems to be a demand, since Image really, to have a little bit more excitement in the layout and stuff. So how do you manage that without pulling the reader out of the story?
Well, we had a lot of discussions about that when I was working on Batman. How do we compete with Image? And I said, well, it's easy. We just start with as engaging an opening as we can, which we all should do anyway. Start with the splash, double page spread, and then another 3-panel page. And then we do the story the way we normally would do it. Because now we've got them, and now it's our job to hold them. And so nothing really has to change. It's just our approach at the beginning.
So there really were those conversations. How do we compete with Image Comics?
Oh yeah, Denny was really worried about it. Archie as well. How do we compete? What do we have to do? And I said, we don't have to change anything we're doing. We just have to change our approach because our stories already are better written. They've got better stories. They actually have stories. So it's just a matter of drawing the reader in on those opening pages.
And therein lies the problem that the industry faced by the next generation, because up until that point, comics were very cyclical. Kids would read them, particularly young boys, love the comics, discover girls and sports and all that kind of shit, go off, and then nostalgically remember their comics and the fun they had and the action adventures and the great stories, and then they return to it. Now they have money, and that's how it seemed to cycle. When you got to Image Comics, where it was all flash and no cash, you lost an entire generation because they did not come back. They remember the artwork, but now as a more mature, sophisticated reader, they look at that stuff and they say, what did I like about this? Well, I was 12 years old. This is what I liked about it. I have no great memory of the stories. And so they never returned. And so that baseline of readers that we used to have has thinned out as a result. And I personally lay it a lot of that on the steps of Image for what happened.
And Wizard Magazine.
Yes, that too. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, it's hard.
I mean,
go ahead, Ethan.
Well, I mean, I disagree. I think First of all, a couple of things. I mean, first of all, the the Image days were a time of tremendous enthusiasm for people and excitement, where comic books actually were like bubblegum. They were delicious. You go into the comic book stores, and no, the stories were wretched for the most part, but the overall appeal of the comic books themselves, I don't think that's been duplicated. I don't think that people feel the same way that they do, the way that we did. I mean, when I would go in there at age 22 or whatever and see the new issue of Pitt by Dale Keown, and I just had to have it. And it was just so tremendously exciting. The other thing is Wizard Magazine, I really, the loss of Wizard Magazine has been such a tremendous detriment to this industry. And even still, you've got people whining, our peers. Conventions, comic conventions aren't about us anymore. They're about TV stars and movie stars. I'm like, well, I seem to remember Wizard Magazine making us celebrities. It was such a big deal. They could do a spread about Joe and Jimmy and make them seem like rock stars. And people would line up to meet them because they just read an article, the big splash page, big gigantic article about Billy Tucci with his spiked hair, riding motorcycles. And they made Billy Tucci into a celebrity that people lined up to meet. And then we killed it. And that's what I hate about this industry. This industry hates itself so much, doesn't understand what it has that's good. I don't know what it was that killed Wizard. I guess there was some corruption from the inside. I do remember Jeff Loeb, talking to us and saying, I called up Garib. I said, that top 10 writers list, I know you just throw a dart at the board. So how much do I got to pay you to make that dart land on my name? And I was like, shit, it must be horrible to be the Sheamus brothers. It must be terrible. Because there's all this payola and all this nonsense and envy and jealousy. And if you are on that top 10 list, Chuck, and you were a lot of times, that means a lot. Twice. That means, were you number one when you were on there?
1 month I wrote 6 of the top 10 Diamond books, and I wasn't on the top hottest list. That was totally arbitrary, and you could pay.
Yeah, that list was never predicated on sales. It was.
And the thing is that we need a Tiger Beat type fan magazine for comics. I agree. The problem with Wizard was its most deleterious impact was on comic editors. They actually believed the bullshit they were reading in that magazine, even though they knew it was bullshit.
Exactly.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean?
Well, they wanted, like, we're going to hire, hey, this guy's one of the top 10 artists, so we got to get him. And they throw all kinds of money at him. I remember once Kevin Dooley called me and he said, hey, that guy that just made the Wizard top 10 list. Yeah, you know him? I'm like, yeah, his art sucks. And, I go, yeah. And he says, I got his brother. And that's the terrible effect that Wizard Magazine had.
Wow.
Unimaginative, no talent editors were looking at that like a guideline.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they built Stephen Platt. I mean, just to name names. I mean, they got together, Rob Liefeld and Garib Sheamus, and said, let's make this kid a rock star. And they did, and his stuff, look, his stuff did have a snap to it and was very, very, very exciting to look at. It was weird too, but it was also very, very exciting to look at. I just think that those days there was an unbridled enthusiasm. And then we had that, like you said, Tiger Beat magazine that really just elevated the excitement level.
Right.
Not the art. It's not about art. It's about hype. And then we don't have any hype. We have zero hype now in this industry.
Especially when you had some young, handsome 26
bike-haired motorcycle riding.
Yeah. They had great photographers. They do these fisheye lens rock star shots of you guys.
Oh yeah, it was Rolling Stones for comics.
Yeah, I got a professional.
We killed it.
I had if you see those pictures of Wizard and me, it's black and white, and the Comic Images was doing trading cards, and they had creators trading cards. I think it was me, Linsner, a couple other guys, and I sent them pictures that I had, like my girlfriend taking me, and they're like, "Dude, these pictures suck." I'm like, he's like, "Listen, you got to go to New York City." I was in Queens. He's like, "Go to New York City on whatever, I don't know, Thompson Street. We set you up with a photographer." I'm like, I don't want to pay for it. He's like, we'll pay for it. Don't worry. Your pictures are that bad. I need a good picture of you. They took pictures. I think Wizard was was part of it too, or something. They paid to get my pictures taken.
They blew you
got
up.
like
I mean,
20 of them, like 8x10s. They gave me like 28 by 10s and stuff.
And Billy Tucci was just a guy who did his independent comic, and Wizard blew him up and made him into made Crusade Comics. I mean, you know, say what you want about Wizard and the payola and all that nonsense, but they were genuinely doing good stuff for creators too, and for this industry.
Yeah, I never took an ad out in Wizard.
No, and by the way, early on in the '90s, that wouldn't have helped you. I know that because over at Harris Comics, they were trying to swing a little deal for Cyberfrog that way. We'll pay for an ad. We'll do this and that. We'll buy all this ad space in the magazine if you'll promote Cyberfrog. I remember those conversations happening with marketing, and Wizard was just like, "No, go. We don't do that. We'll take your ad money, but you've got to actually hit us with something that we care about or we're excited about." And Cyberfrog ain't it. But I mean, that's just what I think there's a lot more sort of rumor and innuendo about maybe what went on, and maybe in the 2000s things changed a little bit. But in the 90s, where it mattered, it wasn't payola. It was just nerds deciding who they were interested in over there, who they were excited by, who they wanted to hang out with. They wanted to hang out with Billy. They wanted to hang out with Jimmy and Joe.
It was
those guys were cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember your Sassy magazine film?
Oh,
shoot,
yeah.
Billy?
Sassy. It's Sassy magazine, not sassy. Sassy. I was so sassy.
Well, what happened though, going back to Graham's point, what happened after Image, it seems like you almost had this sort of reverse thing going on where, the last, I don't know, what are we looking at since the coming of Bendis, I guess, where you've got, there was this formula for how you'd open a comic to grab someone's attention. And Chuck was right on, right? You do the splash page, do a double page spread, and then you kind of work your way into your storytelling or whatever. And that was like completely lost into these, there was no splash pages. And if there was a splash page, it was two people drinking coffee at a coffee shop out of costume. And it was just like this whole idea got lost of there was no excitement in comics, right? It became this sort of faux highbrow, oh, look at me, I'm a novelist, and I'm turning it into a comic book, or I want to write for TV, so I'm going to
a lot of Joss Whedon
TV show.
Shit.
Yeah. They admitted they didn't like comics. And the writers today, a lot of them, they've never read comics.
Yeah.
And they take that that's a badge of honor for them. And same thing with the characters. They want to change these characters, and they make no bones about it.
It's clear they never read comics because they don't understand the art form. They don't know how to tell a story in the format or the art form of comics, which is not the same as writing a screenplay for a TV show or a movie. They're different animals.
Story.
And then all they do is they rely on the weaknesses that comics have instead of playing up the strengths that you can't do. I mean,
what happened that turned the attention completely away from the artists, which is what ran the 1990s, for better or worse, right to the writers. These pompous kind of blah 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 writers who were just writing boring shit like 8-panel grid of statted panels and conversation and coffee shops and all that. What happened? Why did that happen? Why did the artist suddenly get booted to second chair? And it was all about these big rock star writers who I guess, see, this is why I disagree with this central premise that it's like a generation disappeared because they didn't remember the stories, because now it's all about the stories and the writers. And they still ain't here because I guess the artists are just not that interesting. They're just not as compelling, again, as Jimmy and Joe and Billy and Stephen Platt and Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane and Dale Keown. Those guys created Images, Mark Silvestri, that sold millions of books. And it is all about like just, those images just grabbing, forcing you to pull a book off the stands. We don't have that right now.
Yeah.
The artists are just not important.
Well,
but it's also, but look at the writing. I mean, and Chuck, I mean, we've all covered this, but Robin's twink boyfriend sneaking up on him and scaring him at the amusement park.
Right.
Disgusting.
Well, Chris Thacker, thank you for that $5 super chat. Anyone doing it correctly today, gents? The writing and the art. Yes, Compass Comics.
Us.
Yeah,
we are.
Cyberfrog.
Because we're old enough to know, right?
Yeah.
We're old enough to remember when it was good.
I've always been an invisible hand writer. I mean, I know the artist is a superstar in comics. I got no problem with that, you know. So, you know, I get the same royalties he does. So I'm fine with nobody remembering who I am, you know, and give the artist his due, you know. But damn it, give him a story to tell.
Yeah, but you and Graham together, Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. I mean, it's not so bad when there are two big rock stars working together in concert to make great comics.
Yeah,
but it seems like it's out of balance right now.
What'd you say, Chuck?
We don't fight.
No, it's true.
Denny and Neil fought all the time.
Maybe that was good.
You never asked Denny about Green Lantern, Green Arrow, because he just go right back to that. It was like it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, one of my theories has been for a long time is that visual mediums, just like I started out in commercial art in a commercial art studio. Those things don't even exist anymore, right? There is no such thing as commercial art in their traditional sense. So you have all these talented illustrators that aren't necessarily comic book fans or comic book artists that are going into comics because that's the only place that you can do illustration anymore. And so you get these really nicely drawn, boring comics. And then you've got a bunch of guys that want to write for TV. So they're writing boring scripts because they don't know how to write comics. And so you have artists that may be very talented and writers that may be very talented, but have no idea how to do a comic book. And they're working in comics. And so as a result, you have these boring, uninteresting, maybe well drawn, but certainly not dynamic. Okay. No one's going to accuse Kirby of being, Norman Rockwell, but for comics, he blasted stuff off the page. You had to read a Kirby book because it was so exciting. It was so impactful visually. And that is what's missing in today's comics. And that's what we are at least trying to bring back. When I wrote Wraith of God, the first one, it was put together sort of like a screenplay, right? Because that's my writing experience. And I would look at it and go, okay, this character's working, all this kind of stuff. But I had the knowledge or the experience to look at that and go, there's no double page spread in this book. So I need to change that. I've got too much people talking over here. Where's the Wraith? That's what people want to see. So I would go back in and edit my script and say, I need more pages of this, and this, because I knew that's what people wanted to see when they're reading a comic book. And they didn't want to read my movie script. They wanted to read a comic book. And so I had to go back in and adjust it visually. And thankfully, I have enough experience and I'm old enough that I remember when it used to be good, how that is done. The Stan Lee idea of, 16 pages of Spider-Man and the Green Goblin and 6 pages of Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. So you get the soap opera to bring them back, but it's only about 6 pages of the issue. The rest of it is the dynamic stuff that makes kids or whoever want to buy the book. The soap opera, give them a little bit of soap opera, keeps them coming back for the next issue.
Yeah.
And that's a formula that works, but people are not using it.
Having that self-awareness goes a long way too, Aaron.
Right.
That you can analyze your own work and you can say, whoa, I'm being a little too self-absorbed here in my writing, and I got to realize who my customers are and change that.
You got to check your ego, man. I mean, and that's the hardest thing for everybody to do, right? At some point, you got to understand that, that you're not just doing this to please yourself. I hate people that say, "Oh, I make movies for myself," or I write books for myself, or I do this for myself. You go, BS, you're doing it to sell it to somebody. So don't give me that crap. You do it for the reader, not for yourself. And so you don't please yourself, you please the reader. Because if you don't please the reader, you have no product. Then you are literally doing it for yourself because you're the only one who's going to read it.
Yeah, I'm driven by the mortal fear of boring the reader myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
wow. Exactly.
Definitely.
Well, and I wonder if all of this is irrelevant because AI comics are on the horizon.
Yeah, boy, isn't that going to be entertaining? I'm sure that'll just.
There we go.
Yeah, let's see where we're at here. We popped up to 15 on the last refresh, so let's do it again. 16.
Oh yeah, buddy.
301. Wow,
look
that's
at
nice.
that, man. Way to go.
Very nice. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. The thing about this campaign is there's no tchotchkes in it. No shirts, none of that stuff. This is all books. And so it was sort of an experiment because I wanted to get it out quickly. to see if God damn it, there we go. Because we're all in this to sell the books, you know. There's no high-end art in here or sketches or anything that kind of stuff. So I'm really pleased to see the kind of backers I have, because those are pure book sales, and that's what we're all about is selling as many books as possible.
Yeah.
So
Joe Frankenstein is Lopez approved.
Well, thank you, Lopez.
Okay.
I'm going to get a stamp. Lopez approved. No, that is something that is when I look at Comicsgate or just the independent movement in long term, it's like eventually it comes about, or it comes down to book sales, right? It's backer numbers. I mean, the money, how much money you make is important because you need to make enough money to actually to do the book. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you want to see those backer numbers grow and just say, okay, well, what if I was just putting out books? Can we get it to a number that is sustainable just as the book? And I think we're starting to move in that direction where we can start to see that we're getting more backers and more people focused on, you know what, I'm just going to get the book. I'm just going to get the book. And I'm not saying, t-shirt sales aren't important, or stickers, or as Ethan said, trading cards are a cool thing as well. But you want to know that you can sell the book, right? And, I think that putting out a campaign, and that's what I'm going to do with my second print campaign on Wraith of God, is just going to be the book. And there's going to be a few of the leftovers I had from the first campaign, that, people want to add them on or whatever. But it'll be a good gauge to see,
well, let me push back on you a little bit, Aaron.
I know you were going to.
Gently. Let me just tell you that, it doesn't really matter. I want to make $100,000. I don't care if it comes from 100,000 backers or just one. In fact, I'd prefer it just be one, because then I have to only ship to one person.
Yeah, but what do you think about longevity, though? I mean, does that translate?
Well, yeah, like longevity. See, I sell the comic books after I make them. So the idea is to make enough money to be able to make a lot of product to sell in perpetuity on Amazon or on eBay, and not necessarily just through the campaign. If you're only going to count your profits as what's left over after you ship all your books to your backers, you're just not going to realize the full potential of independent marketing. You should use this money that you get to make more product, and then find a way to constantly be selling Wraith of God from an eBay platform or an Amazon platform. Make as many books, as much product as you possibly can to get the money to make those books, make more of them, and always be selling. ABS. It always doesn't work. Yeah, that's my whole attitude about this, is just to, people miss these campaigns. People aren't familiar with how to. I got people. How do I buy Cyberfrog? Where's Cyberfrog? Well, It's an Indiegogo campaign. It's over now. Here's the link to my eBay store, and you can buy it right now. Pay more than what the backer paid for it. Backer gets it cheapest and first, but you can get it right now. We'll ship it to you overnight. So I don't care. Like the backer number, irrelevant, really. I mean, it's great to have a lot of backers,
though, because you're still selling your book. You're just not selling it through the Indiegogo, but you're selling it on your website, or you're selling it through eBay. So you still are bringing in more readers. And I guess maybe that was my long-term point, was not to focus everything completely.
Oh, I just want to reassure you that, like, if you get fewer backers for this campaign than another one, it doesn't really matter. Just make more books and keep selling them. You'll eventually build your audience that way. It's going to happen because you're great. True. So,
Son of Liberty Radio, thank you for that $2. Chuck, any news about Airboy Comics?
What about Airboy Comics?
Is there any news about Airboy Comics?
Yeah, that Airboy 52 from It's Alive Comics should be coming out in the next couple of months. So other than that, I don't have any Airboy news at the moment, although it's a property that is always alive in my head. So
do you own the rights to Airboy?
I own the rights to the 80s iteration of Airboy.
Okay.
So all of those things that you and I worked on together, and
so was that public domain and you took it? Is that kind of what happened?
It was a Golden Age character, which anybody can do an Airboy comic and have. But we did the Eclipse version, and all of that material and all the characters, new characters created to it, ended up belonging to me. So
nice. Didn't McFarlane own it for a bit? Like when he bought it, didn't McFarlane own it at one time?
McFarlane owned it. He let IDW have it back. And then just before Ted Adams left IDW, he gifted it all to me.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Because Ted is a stud.
Apparently. So did you use the heap? I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We used all of them. We used the most obscure Hillman characters you've ever. I mean, Rackman. Rackman, who was a little person inside of an exoskeleton.
So shouldn't Rack Woman? Wouldn't that be a better character?
Well, they had plenty of them.
Rack Girl.
This was the late 40s, early 50s. There were lots of Rack girls. So.
Yeah, they all had those torpedoes.
Gentlemen, I got to help my wife. I really enjoyed this. Thanks for letting me come on, and we'll promote Joe Frankenstein. Thank you, Graham. Chuck, great seeing you again, sir. Great talking to you, Billy.
Thanks for coming in, buddy. Much appreciated.
Always an education, Ethan.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Right. Yeah, I came to your streaming and got a job.
That's right. You're welcome.
Always get work.
Chuck's always
I just backed it up, Graham. And tell me, do you have new artwork in it besides the new lettering and stuff?
No, not in this book.
Not in this book. Okay.
It'll have extras, but this is part 1 and part 2 are going to collect the original series and include the prologue, which was only in the out of print hardcover. So this will be the first time the prologue is in the actual comic. And then once these 2 books are done, then there's a connection to the Ghost of Matacumba Key, which is why I want to get these out ahead of time so that people reading the Ghost of Matacumba Key will get the full shock value out of it. And then Chuck and I are going to start new Joe Frankenstein stories.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool deal.
So it's important to get it out under the Compass Comics banner because probably going to sell more than IDW did. We
did that today.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was important to do that first and get people reacquainted with the series. So that's what we're doing.
Excellent. Hey, yeah. Graham and gentlemen, I have to jump too. I got to go get Matthew at school.
Okay.
So great luck to you, man. Very
Thanks,
happy.
Billy.
Awesome launch. Let me know if you're going to be streaming later on or tomorrow, whatever.
I'll probably stream. I'll probably stream tonight. We've been on 3 hours now. Maybe we'll just since you got to go.
I'm gonna have to drip out too. Or drip out? How about drop out too? I got to
drip, drop, whatever.
This is what you're in your 60s, Aaron. There's a lot of drip. I know.
This is like one of those parties, right? Everybody's there, and Ethan's like, "Yeah, I got to go." Then Billy's like, "Yeah, I got to go." And then pretty soon everybody goes, and you're sitting there by yourself, going, "But no one even touched the casserole."
No, I got to get Matthew at 3:00, so I got to jam.
No worries, buddy.
Later.
Thanks, Billy.
Bye, guys. Well done, my friend.
Thank you, pal.
Good to see you all.
Mr. Joker 1128 wants to know for $4.99 because he'd heard me say that Chuck and I would love to write and draw the Fantastic Four. How do you describe Dr. Doom as a character? What would be your take?
Well, Kirby's take. That would be our take.
That's exactly right. That's right. Megalomaniacal genius.
Petty.
Who's petty. Right? But he also has a love for his people.
Yep. There's a little bit of pathos there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, hey, let me ask you this. There's always been the theory that and I think it was John Byrne that wanted to do this, that when they unveiled Dr. Doom, that all he had was a little scratch, and it was his whole vanity is what made him,
really?
Yeah, close. So all he had was like a little scratch. He was still this good-looking guy.
Well, the problem I always had with that idea was, he may have gotten a little scar from that explosion in his dorm room.
Yeah, that chemical explosion.
when he put on that white hot mask.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, and then when you look,
might have left a mark.
He might have looked like he might have looked like he'd be at home on a plate at Ruth's Chris. So.
Yeah. Eric the Guapo, $100 super chat. That is a good cigar, my
hang
friend.
on now.
Thank you. Winning, yes, sir.
Oh, Guapo.
With help
Wow.
from you guys, you great backers, we are indeed winning.
No,
Thank you,
Chuck
sir.
is gonna give a big, expensive steak driving those comics.
Yeah. Maybe I'll even buy you a lobster, Sergio.
Maybe a 7-pounder though.
Yeah. And you won't have to hide it.
Oh my goodness.
That's a story.
Yeah. Back in the day when DC used to pay us lunch in San Diego.
Yep. Sergio ordered the biggest lobster I've ever seen in my life.
Me too.
And we had to hide it from Eddie Berganza, who was signing the check.
Oh my god!
I actually had 4 guys helping me eat it because they
God,
gave me 2 plates. I mean, there was.
You've never seen a lobster disappear so fast.
I was always afraid to do that. I was like, oh, I don't want to. Even when they're buying, it's kind of like, oh, I can't order $100 fish, can I? No,
Of course
I never
you can.
Well, okay. Well, apparently you did. So
I did.
I have never seen a lobster this big. I mean, it was
Yeah, but
freaking
I mean,
huge.
sometimes when things are too big, they're tough, means they've been around a long time. Was it good?
It was good.
It was good.
It was good. Okay, that's good.
We had to eat it fast, but it was good.
Yeah.
Why was it trying to get you?
No, we didn't want Eddie to see it. We were at a different table. He was at the main table. There were so many people in the group that we were at a separate table.
Oh.
And so I sort of moved around, so my back was to Eddie, so he couldn't see the actual table. And the 4 of us just wolfed that lobster down.
He was busy groping women anyway, so he wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, it's probably
his eyes probably would have got bigger than the lobster if he'd seen it.
Oh man! Well, when he saw the bill, we got out of there before the check came.
Oh, well, that was smart.
I never saw the bill.
Was that in the city? Was that for like an editorial meeting, or was that at a convention?
No, it was in San Diego. It was in DC covered it.
Yeah, we were at a Chicago show one time, and DC had we went to some big steak place or something, and I can't even, like Ruth Chris, which is super expensive.
Oh yeah.
And I can't even imagine what the final bill was. I mean, people were just ordering these massive steaks, and good old days, right?
I was in Memphis for a con, and Mike Carlin was there too, and so Mike took all of us out on the DC Dole. And we went to this shitty little steak place in this shitty part of town, like picnic table stuff, the red and white plaid, a plastic on top of tables. And this was like in like the soul food section, but these steaks came out and they were this big, and they flopped these platters down on the table. Because this place, I guess, was famous for their steaks. But it was the shittiest looking steak place I'd ever been in, and it was some of the best steak I ever ate. It was freaking amazing. Yeah.
Remember those Italian restaurants Scoreboard used to take us to?
Oh, geez, yeah. Where nobody spoke English?
Nobody spoke English. I lived in Philadelphia all my life. I never saw these streets in South Philly before, and they took us. And when we walked in, everybody knew the names of the guys we were with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I realized Scoreboard's mobbed up.
Yep. It's exactly it.
I took a girl out one time. We went into this bar and everybody knew her. And I was like, holy crap. What did I, I'm not kidding. It was like, hey, wow. I was just like, wow. The evening did not go well, but yeah.
Like that Rodney Dangerfield joke. The bartender says, "What do you have?" I said, "Surprise me." He showed me a naked picture of my wife.
Mm-hmm. It's a great Rodney Dangerfield bit. That is,
my wife at the bachelor party. She was in the movie.
She said, "Take me somewhere I've never been." So I took her to the kitchen.
Hey guys, I see in the background. My dog is calling me. I need to walk her out.
No worries.
We're closing out anyway.
Yeah, great being here, Graham.
Thanks, Sergio.
I backed your book too. Right. The first one, the
IDW one.
I got the Frankenstein, the first one, and I backed this one today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and he's talking about the Mary Shelley version, Graham. He picked up the first one.
The unreadable.
Graham didn't have anything to do with that.
No, I'm excited for you guys, for everything that all of you are doing, and who knows? Maybe one day I'll join it with something with Chuck. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do something.
I gotta get
great being here. Great being here. Great seeing old friends.
Yeah, good to see you too, buddy.
Yeah, and the next time you guys are in Florida, call Chuck and I so we can go out and eat.
Hey, I'm going to be at Tampa Bay Con.
Awesome.
When is it end of June? I think.
Okay.
We're all supposed to go with Mike Barron out to dinner. So.
Oh yeah, Barron's going to be there too.
Yeah.
All right, let's all grab a dinner.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or two.
All right.
Or three.
Sounds great.
And
okay. See you, Sergio.
See ya.
All right. See you, Sergio.
Alexi Luther, thank you for that $5 super chat. What would you say Dr. Doom's love for his people was? His ownership of them, his nationalism, or his ethnocentricity?
Well, since Latveria is a Eastern European country, there's going to be a lot of ethnic strife within that country because that's the way those countries run.
Right.
So he'd love some of the people, some of them he wouldn't, because remember he's a gypsy by birth. So there would be some payback, some score settling.
Remember when the guy who was a servant in the house spilled something on him or bumped into him one time and he lost his shit, but he realized that I think Sue Storm was there or something like that, and then he settles down and so that's the real Doom right there.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
Was he a guy that he loved his people because that was part of the job, because he wanted the power of being king and that was part of the responsibility? He had to do that, kind of like the Democratic Party. And that's kind of how I read it, Now maybe I'm mistaken, but that's.
Well, I think in reality he would love some of the people, not others, depending on their ethnicity. I mean, he'd love the Czechs, hate the Slavs. I mean,
right.
So that's just the way that part of the world works. We're seeing that in the Ukraine. That's just the way that part of the world works. It's not fun. Those people, they hold the grudge worse than the Irish. So,
is that possible?
Hey, the Irish won't take heads. At least they haven't for a while.
They won't what?
Take heads. I mean, taking people's heads is still a thing there. So,
wow.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's.
You're saying don't go vacation in Eastern Europe. Is that what you're telling me?
Don't be a war tourist.
Yeah.
A war tourist.
That ain't good. All right, let's see if we got any more movement. We're up to 300 backers already. 301, 16,460, 17.
Boom.
Woo! Look at that go.
Awesome.
Oh, some love for the monster. We like that.
Very cool.
That is very nice. You
This
guys
is,
are awesome.
This is quite encouraging. I wanted to see how your re-release here would do, and it's doing remarkably well. So I'm feeling a little bit better about my re-release coming up here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I think this is going to be good. The fact that there's new stuff coming out about it, I think helps too.
Right.
That there's going to be new stories coming up and that it connects to the Ghost of Matacumba Key. I'm assuming that a lot of my backers are backers from that project as well.
You guys originally released this through IDW. There's got to be a ton of people who have never seen it before. So it's like new material, right?
Yeah. Guaranteed.
I'd go so far to say, Aaron, that only 6 people have seen it before.
Because I got my royalty statement and I know it for a fact. There was 6 people.
Yeah. Yeah. The royalty statement says you still owe us.
Exactly.
Seriously.
They keep sending you these things.
And
Could
they send smaller statements? Do you ever notice their royalty statements that they used to send? The type is like this big. Everything is like, it's like, what is this?
They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know.
Yeah.
Speaking of royalty checks, I got one from Marvel today, and I want to get to the bank before.
Yeah, so did I.
While it still clears.
Yeah, mine's not big enough to really worry about it, but I don't know if it'll pay for the gas to get to the bank.
For once, this was a decent one. They reprinted a bunch of my Moon Knight stuff. So.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I keep getting books, trades from them that they've reprinted my stuff in, but I keep getting these like completely wimpy,
oh God, they're horrible.
Checks.
Yeah, it's like I can go to Pizza Hut, but I can't get a lot of toppings.
Yeah. Just pepperoni. That's all I can afford.
today he's the first-time Nolan backer. Well, I much appreciate that, sir.
You sold him with the story.
I guess so.
All right.
Awesome.
Happy to have you on board. I think it's going to be a good experience for you. You'll be updated every week, every Monday about the project and how it's progressing. And this one's going to go a lot faster than other ones because all the work is already done. So welcome on board, and we hope to see you at other Compass Comics events, my friend. Thank you.
Cool. And seriously, I got to go before the bank closes. So.
Hey, no worries.
Because I'm not joking. I really got to go.
And Aaron's got to eat breakfast.
Yeah, that's right. I just got out of the sack, man. No, I got Graybeard Studio coming up at 1 o'clock where David Williams and I will be drawing things from Johnny Quest. So that'll be fun.
That's who I voted for.
Cool.
Thank you, Graham. Well, I figured you would be a guy that'd go Johnny Quest. So, of course, I'm going to be doing Jade because why wouldn't I? So that'll be fun. I might throw a Bandit in there too.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'm taking off.
All right.
I'll see you, Graham.
Thanks,
Vaya con Dios, Senor Lopez.
Yes. See you, Chuck. It's good talking to you.
Thanks. So we'll close her down. We've been on here for 3 hours. I want to thank everybody in the chat. I'm probably going to stream tonight too. So if any of you guys want to come back, and in between that time, tell your friends about the campaign. Let them know. Encourage them to get on board. And, we really do appreciate it. Let's do this one more time. Let's refresh it and see if we got anything different before we sign off for now. Beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. 17,200.
17.2.
Nice. Great opening. Great opening.
That is a very nice opening for 3 hours in.
Yep.
So it is much appreciated. Thanks again, everybody. Aaron, thank you, buddy.
Hey, sure.
You're
pleasure.
a bro. It's so great to have you here and supporting each other. And were you here when Dan was in? Dan and Andy?
I was here when just the tail end before Andy left.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. And so we had most of the bros in here, which was nice.
That's good. Excellent.
So, well, have fun. And everybody go over and watch Aaron's show, which starts at what time?
1 o'clock Pacific. So
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock Eastern.
Yep.
Yeah.
About 45 minutes.
Yep.
The Graybeard show will be on. So give that a look. And thanks again, guys. I'll see you later tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.